That's what's up. We're back. We're back. Y'all, I'm doing this 45-day manifestation, so sometimes I have to, stop what I'm doing and get with everybody and do the manifestation. So, of course, I apologize that we had to end that conversation abruptly. I felt like I was being rude, but I had to, because that's super, super important. But we're back, and Divine Bay, if I'm not mistaken, you were on the panel. Because you're definitely welcome to get back in on a panel. And for those of you guys that was wondering what we were on here talking about, we was just literally talking about like pretty much everything. We was talking about Trump, we was talking about Harris, we was talking about the 18th Amendment, which is weird because now if you check that out, you're going to see that has something to do with alcohol. It has nothing to do with, not making slaves. And it just, so we just was on here just talking, and hey, go to your room. Go to your room. If you're going to stomp and stuff, go to your room. And don't stomp in the room. So, yeah. And the last thing that we was talking about was they cloned Tyrone. So, Divine Bay, yes, you still blocked on your other account. Your silly self. So the last thing we was talking about was I think they cloned Tyrone. And then Divine Bay, like I said, I know you had something that you wanted to talk about, and I wanted to come back and give you that time. So just if you don't feel like you want to come into the panel, that's okay. You could just put your comment in there, and then we can go from there and keep the conversation going. We was definitely talking about the slave trade, and ending that conversation probably did, erupt the energy that we had going on. But I really was enjoying that conversation. One of the things that we was talking about, the slaves, we were saying that swapping destinies, that destinies got swapped, and that maybe the way that they're saying slavery, maybe it wasn't that way. So that's some of the stuff that we was talking about. I don't know if Greg is going to make his way back, but Greg was the one that was talking to us about like some of the laws and stuff that's going on. And Greg is one of the elders. And it makes me wonder if that's how come they keep, like they're trying to get rid of this this unity between certain ages. They want younger people to just feel like old people are ill, and they want old people to just have no regard and respect for young people. But that's where you're going to get your information from. And ironically now, I'm an 80s baby. So I'm going to be honest, I'm a little bit confused because I don't know if I'm old or if I'm still young. I don't know. I'm really, really confused. I don't feel old. I don't look old, but I don't know. But I'm going to tell you one thing. I fell into the category of not knowing that the 18th Amendment had nothing to do with alcohol. For some odd, amazing reason, I forgot that the 18th Amendment was talking about when Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. And the Constitution is that there's not supposed to be any slaves or involuntary solitude unless someone has committed a crime. That's the only way that you can turn someone into a slave. Okay? Still young, thank you. Thank you. I don't be knowing. And then, the way that everything is going, we don't know, but we still do need our elders. And that's what Greg was on here doing. He was letting us know some stuff. And then Diva was also on here giving us some information. And they both are older than us. And we need our elders. Okay? We lost the conversation. Oh, it was good. It was so good and juicy. You're gonna be 36. You know what's weird? It's almost like oh, there goes Greg. Hey Greg, welcome back. I just was talking about you. Thanks. The eyes are not mine, they're contacts. The color is amethyst. So it's like a purplish. Okay, let me let you know, because if you see me in person, I'm probably gonna look like I just got out the bed. So I want y'all to know I ain't really this cute in person. Okay, kinda cute, but not this cute. Okay. But anyway, oh, there she go. Diva's back too. Hey, okay, all right. Thank you. But 36, I think it's old to a lot of people until you die at that age. Then all of a sudden it was so young. So if you ask me what age is old, I think an old age is when you can die and people will say, oh, well, you know, that person lived long enough. Like 95 years old. When you hit 90, 95, I think that's when you're old. Yep, it is. It's definitely a lot. It is a lot. It's a lot. And the funny thing is, I still don't know a lot. White Cargo, the book. What is this book about, Greg? And oh, we have somebody who wants to come up. Oh, there goes Greg. Now he can tell us about this book.
Okay, White Cargo is a book about the white slaves that was brought over here to North America. And it was written by Don Michael, and it was written by Don Jordan and some Michael person, but all you have to do is look it up on the computer. It'll be, the name of the book will be White Cargo, about the white slaves. And they brought
Be careful a little bit, Greg. Greg, you're gonna have to talk in code.
Okay.
Because that topic right there might get us banned.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, we just gonna have to figure out a new slang term for that.
Oh, for slavery?
Let's call it cargo.
Okay.
Okay, and then W cargo for them, and you know, regular cargo, I guess, or B cargo for.
Okay, well, that's the name of the book, and it was written by Don Michael and some other person. It was written by two people. It was about 1 million to 1.25 million people they brought over here, but it was less than 2 million that they brought up over here, and they brought them up over.
Who wrote it?
Don Michael and something other Jordan. And Michael Jordan.
Michael Walsh. Don Jordan and Michael Walsh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. This website that I go to says that they don't even get 2 of these books a year. It says temporarily unavailable.
Okay, yeah. So they really just trying to keep that out of the history of people. So because you know how they got the 1 drop rule of having black blood in you?
Okay.
And that's how they do it. Then when they want people just to be able to have that, and then, well, we won't accept you. So you just go over there to the black race, and then you can be accepted. So that was just people they didn't really want, because a lot of white women were brought over here as being poor. Back in the day, they was poor and born out of wedlock, left his kids and all that. So they just gathered them up the same way they did black people. They just got them any way they could, as children and anything else. And then they brought them over here and made slaves out of them.
Interesting. Well, I do see the book is a couple of places. Let me look and see if they got it.
Oh.
I did find a place that has it.
And so if you go back into history, you can go back into the 60s when Martin Luther King was marching. You saw those white people marching. Those were people that kept records of their history, and they knew that they had family members that were slaves too. So that's the reason why they was right there by Martin Luther King's side. So they wasn't just trying to defend Martin Luther King. They was trying to let people know, but certain white people, because they was rich and powerful, just did anybody wrong. They just mistreated people, as you may call it, like
He's just telling a story,
antichrist or
though.
something.
He's telling a story. He's just telling a story. All right. This is a big what if. Okay. So that's
Yeah.
what he's doing. So don't think that we're being like racist or anything. He's just telling a story. But
Yeah.
Greg, I love your stories. I really, really do. But you just have to really, really be careful what you say.
Okay.
Try your best to speak in code, and
Okay.
because they be getting me over here on this channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so many people are embarrassed of what their family members were back in the day, until they just go off and try to, nowadays they just try to, how can I say this? They just try to communicate with that skin color of a person, because they don't want nobody to know that that's where their family was, and we was all niched in together. And that's why a lot of races just need to start coming together and communicating with each other, because a bunch of people have went through the same tragic stories and everything, and they have dealt with a lot of stuff. And that's why you see different people of the white race, the black race, and Indians and so forth trying to get together, because I mean, we were all in the same struggle, and that's basically what it was.
Why you think that they all can get together and we can't? And I mean, like why do you think like they all? It's like it's a secret that they all could kind of tell each other. And I don't know if we just don't want to know the secret. Are we literally being kicked out? But I feel like no, because I've been accepted into a lot of places where they're just giving me knowledge, where they just do things for me, and it's free, which is really interesting that they do it for free. And then when it comes to our people, like we're always like super trying to charge somebody. And at the end of the day, charging us for information that's like not even all the way accurate. So my thing is, why do y'all think that we be having such a hard time joining into these groups where we can actually learn our freedom?
A lot of people just want to suppress the past because they don't want it coming back. I mean, they don't want somebody coming back. You know how they say, like, history repeats itself? So they just don't want history to repeat itself. So as I say, you have the black race and the white race. A lot of people of the other race don't want history to repeat itself because they don't want to go back into that way. So they're going to blend in with the racist people and everybody else to try to save what they have now, which their ancestors and forefathers didn't have. So they want to be a part of the majority, in which they really can't, but they are a part of the struggle, if you may look at it like that. And they
want to act like they're not part of the struggle.
Yes, and they want to act like they're not part of the struggle.
Like what's really going on in the world is not affecting them.
Yeah.
Interesting. So therefore, they don't have to get involved in it.
Hmm.
Well, shit, I'm affected, honey. They done got me good, and I'm just like I don't want to deal with this. And if this is how it is now, I'm just like wondering how is it going to be later? Because since I was a little girl, they kept telling me that things was going to get better, but I don't really see things like on that in that direction. I don't see things getting better.
Things are
You
probably
know.
not going to get any better because the people now are looking back at their forefathers and the forerunners that, hey, they were in the same boat as the black people was. So now we don't want to go back to that. So we're going to blend in with all the races and all the other stuff that's going on. So our skin color is the same. So we're going to blend in with them. And so we're just going to hate up on that race of people so that we won't have to go back to that. A lot of people, I mean, a lot of those people know that they were a part of slavery, but they don't want to own up to it because they realize if they own up to it and publicly come out and say this, they're going to be just like the black people. They're they're going to be just like the black race. And a lot of people think all black people came from Africa, but that's not true. A lot of
Right.
black people did not come from Africa. Dark skinned people did not, a lot of them did not come from Africa. And
Right.
that's why I
Right.
tell some of the dark skinned people, and and I may get comments about this. I tell them, when a white person tells you to go back to Africa, you need to tell them they need to go back because more than likely that's probably where they're from.
You know why that was interesting? Because I had some friends that came from that were Congolese,
Hmm.
and they were teenagers when they came to America, so they had already learned a lot about their own culture.
Hmm.
And she said that in in a long time ago in Africa, um, do I have a bag? No, I don't. It's in the room. She said women in the community started having babies who were naked, and she calls them naked. She said if you have darker skin, you're clothed. But if you don't have darkness on your skin, then you're considered naked. So I thought
Hmm.
that was an interesting take on how they view things. I thought that was very interesting. And then she said that they started having babies who were born naked. And she
Hmm.
said so they had somebody who was supposed to take these naked babies out of the tribe, and they were supposed to go unalive these, you know. And so whoever was taking the babies, they couldn't do it. They couldn't do
Hmm.
it. But also they're saying that these children, the mother's DNA had been played with. So it's just weird to hear her story, and then from what you saying that that could be where they came from, because according to her that's where they came from. But instead
Hmm.
of somebody taking them and unaliving them, they took them somewhere to like another tribe and had them just take care of each other, almost like the same thing that they did with the albinos.
Hmm. Yeah.
Put
Because
them
a
in.
lot of people think that all black people came from Africa, but if you look at my family tree and I took the ancestry DNA test, I got
uh,
people that is so black that have nothing but European in them. Have nothing but European in them. They don't have no African whatsoever in them. And so a lot of people think because you're black or brown skinned, you come from Africa. But what makes a person's skin color is the pigments in their body. Is the pigments in their body. So you may have a first cousin that you probably don't even know about that's probably white.
mm-hmm.
But
So it's just
also,
the pigments in your body. It's not what part of the world you come from. It's the pigments in your body. And that's how we get albinos. That's how we get light skinned people. And that's how we get all this other different races. in classifications and categories. And some people even want to say that Mexicans is a race. Mexican is not a race. If you actually listen, I'm going to tell you a story. It was the slaves that was brought over from the Congo, and they wanted to make fun of the slave owner who brought them over here. So they came up with the song La Bamba. Ba la 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 bamba. That's not even Spanish language. They just made it fit. So that was African's language from Africa, from the Congo, that they brought over there to mess with the white people for bringing them over here, the slave owners. That was how they was degrading them. And the white people didn't know it. So they was from Spain, and so they just blended it in with the Spanish language. And if you go back in history and look up Spanish, there's nothing evenly thought about of that language. So that's why you got to go back to the African language to find out exactly what La Bamba means. And you got a lot of Mexicans that are proud of saying that, because the very first president of Mexico was a black man. A lot of people don't know that, but he was darker skinned than you were.
All right, and you said La Bamba, right?
La Bamba. That's the saying that the slaves did to make fun of the slave owners.
Labama, right? La Bamba.
The song La Bamba.
Right?
The one that Richie Valenzuela sung when he was 17 before he died in the plane crash.
We're going to see what La Bamba is when we put it in the Gematria calculator.
And then after the African slaves started using it, then they just blended it in with the Spanish language. They made it fit.
It's so funny because guess what it is? It just is a bunch of names.
That's what I'm saying. That's an African language from the Congo. If people go back and look up the African language, then they will find out exactly what it means. They were degrading the white people for bringing them over here.
I do see I Am Dead. I Am Dead is on here, and Feed Me is on here too.
And the Spanish people didn't know what it means, so they just made it fit.
It's literally a bunch of names.
So that's the reason why I probably shouldn't be saying this on air right now. But when I get around certain type of prejudiced people,
say it in a code. Code it out. Don't make sure you speak in code.
Okay. So I'll sing La Bamba when I get around certain people too. I'll do it too, for real. And you ought to start doing it too. You ought to start singing it. When those kind of people don't like your skin color or don't like you because of what you are, just start singing La Bamba.
I don't run into people who have a problem with my skin color.
Well,
my daughter said maybe because of
they just tone it down and do it in a different way. It's like, oh, I'm going to overcharge you at the checkout counter, but you never really caught the receipt, or where the item that was $2 was rung up at 10, and they do it on purpose just because your skin color. They get you in all kinds of ways.
Now, that's one thing I don't do. I'm not going to shop with you if I don't see prices on your stuff. But God King said, what are the names? And some of the names on here is like Ken, Nadia, Mel, Aiden, Leela, Finn, Gang, EO, Allie, Kel.
Yeah, so they were just naming off some of the people that was brought over there and then criticizing what had happened to them. So that's what they was doing. A lot of people don't know that, because when I was in the 4th grade, they said we're gonna teach Black history in school, and so I brought it up, Nelson Mandela and a whole bunch of more, and then the school teacher told me, the white lady says, no, this is American Black history. I said, it don't say that on the book. So I moved my desk to the back of the room and I sat there the whole school year. I sat there the whole school year, and then I started wearing a Free Nelson Mandela T-shirt, and I got suspended from school for
You
that.
got suspended. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. That sounds about right. What's your zodiac sign? I want to say you're a Gemini so bad.
I'm an Aquarius.
I'm still an air sign. Okay. That makes sense, especially the free Mandela. That makes sense. Gemini is very much so like Gemini likes to go against the grain a lot, but Aquarius is definitely for freedom and yeah, doing things the right way. That's interesting. But Divine Diva, did you leave? It looked like you paused. I don't know if you're gone. Did you leave? Anybody else want to join in? You are welcome to do so.
I didn't. I'm sorry. It's something's going on with the service out here, so it acts up sometimes, unfortunately.
Okay. So I know you wanted to speak something on that and go ahead and say what you needed to say.
Well, our history goes deeper than that because the Moors were the first aristocrats that were in England. So you got to realize that a lot of the English kings and queens and royalty and dukes were people of our descent. With that being stated, you got to understand there also were a lot of black cargo holders.
I love how you put that.
And most people don't realize that. Because we had one of our cargo holders plantation burned, and we were kind of, like, yes. And the name of that plantation was the Creole Queen. And a lot of people don't understand that when that Civil War happened, it was a multitude of levels that were being attacked because many of us held that fine cargo. And we were very wealthy. So it was also a war on our wealth to take it away. And most people don't know that part of the history either.
Oh, okay. That's very interesting right there. I didn't know that either.
Yeah. So, that's why I say most people don't realize Christopher Columbus was us.
I was hoping I was gonna ask, but Greg was talking and it totally slipped my mind, so I'm glad you brought that back. But go ahead and explain that story so everybody can understand.
Christopher Columbus really, he was a man of color. Most people don't realize that. So he never had the pleasure of reading the strange relationship between Jews and cargo, which they took off of everything. Told the exact story of how Christopher Columbus, who was one of us, went to the Queen to explore. And he also helped bring that part of the cargo over here also. He was part of it. So it was us doing it to us. Because, you had the good Moors and you had the dirty Moors. And the dirty Moors are the ones who basically sold us.
Somebody in there, somebody in the Moorish community can't be trusted because I don't get the seal.
Yes. And so the Moors, basically, there were a group of the Moors that sold us out to the Roman Catholic Church and helped put them in power. And that's why we have so much going on. And people understand that the invisible hand, there's a lot of things that happen that we don't get to see or know about. However, they know the history of everything because the books are held at the Roman Catholic Vatican. So,
and a lot of Moors, they try to keep their information kind of to themselves, I've noticed.
Yes.
And then it's like the Moors that I have talked to, it's like they half-ass tell you what it is that you need to know. It's a little bit weird to me. And so when I went down the rabbit hole of Moors, and no shade to any Moors, if it's one that's watching, I don't have no problem particularly with you, but I did notice that every paper that they gave to me that was talking about Moorish stuff, it had a hand on it like this, and they weren't the same color. It was like a contract that they made with each other.
It was a contract made with the Catholic Church.
Right, and then if you go back into Hollywood, A lot of the black men in Hollywood are Moors. Did you know?
I
Wow.
there a lot of mores are in place. However, there is also a lot of us who are descendants of royalty that was from right here in this country.
But you know, a lot of
Yes,
um, Hollywood people, black people in Hollywood are Moors, right? But
more.
look at their wives. But look at their wives, and and that's what I'm. It's like they made this truce.
Hmm.
Like they did something. I'm not exactly sure what something was, but they definitely did something. And again, it goes back to those papers too. A lot of the Moors know about paperwork.
Yes,
They
because
know how to get out of certain situations with paperwork.
and so that's why I say
Ignorance is bliss.
there was a lot going on during the Civil War, and people don't understand that the why we are so divisive is because it was a psychological warfare on us while we were slaves. And as a matter of fact, the crazy part about it is Hitler took the playbook from America on what he did. And most people don't know that, and it's stated in a book. I gotta I gotta research some of them. I'm not home to go pull from different books. And as a matter of fact, Hitler did not have a problem with us here because we were called God's Jews, and most people don't even acknowledge that he stated that. And most people don't realize the real reason why Hitler went after the Jews.
I do. You can't say it though.
You can't
We can't say it.
can't say it.
No, we can't say it, but we know why.
Hmm.
And so, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's almost like some information for you to know. You gotta kind of get, you gotta hope and pray that you got an elder or somebody who can actually talk to you and communicate with you. And a lot of stuff that I know is literally because I used to be able to sit and talk with my mom. And so those conversations that I have with my mom is how I've been able to just move without her and find some of the information on my own.
And
Well, not even like on my own, but by me not having an elder, by me just like talking to you guys.
mhm.
I'm not finding out this information on my own, but you know, I don't really have an elder to look up to, so I'm just gonna go out there and look for it.
Well,
And I found you guys.
elder,
And so I think a lot of people really do we need some, and I don't mean elders like, oh my God, you guys are so old. That's not what I'm saying, but you're older than me. And so anybody who's younger than me, I always tell them like, hey, I'm your elder, like calm down. So I'm not saying like, oh my God, you guys are like old, but sometimes people who are older than you, they just have more experience, they have more wisdom because they've lived a little bit more. And like I said, they're even trying to take our fucking memory away and tell us that the 18th Amendment has something to do with alcohol. That was very shocking to me.
but do you understand why they abolished? They got rid of alcohol. Did you know?
Say that again.
Did you know why they did that against alcohol? Do you know why?
Prohibition.
Why?
Prohibition was really not due to the people drinking. It was due to the fact that cars used to run off of alcohol.
You're right.
So what better way to usher in gasoline? And people
You're
used to
right.
be able to make alcohol from anything, from their garbage. So there was no need for a particular uh, industry to make all the money. Just like they got rid of Tesla and put Edison in place. They don't want the people to have autonomy.
Mm. On that note, I made a video about robots. They took my sound away. They took my sound away.
We,
When I
we
when
we
I
could
made a video
they tried
about robots.
they tried to integrate AI into the government, and it did not go well. They had to remove it because it started to integrate and take over things within our systems, and it was creating a lot of security issues. It was crazy. Yeah,
It was creating a lot of what, baby? You
security
break it up.
security issues. Security issues.
Security issues.
Hmm.
Interesting. Interesting.
Just like that time, y'all remember in 2017 when they had to shut all of the computers down. Do y'all remember that? Because the computers started speaking to each other in a language that no one knew or was aware of, so they had to shut all the systems down.
Mm-mm.
You guys
No,
remember that?
I never heard of that.
Yeah,
No, I've never heard of that either.
yeah, it happened in 2017. They had to shut all the systems down, and all the government employees, we had to go in and they had to put a special patch into our computers. Yeah, I can't believe y'all don't remember that. That happened in the summer of 2017. Look that up. It,
Okay.
Mm-mm,
and
I've
they
never
could
heard. I
not,
never heard of it.
and the people that wrote software, they did not know what language they were speaking in. The computers were communicating amongst each other.
Did you hear about the robots that they made, and then the robots started attacking the scientists?
Yeah, that
And
happened. That
so
happened like 4 or 5 years
yeah,
ago.
it happened a long time ago. And did you saw, so you heard about the one that they chopped up?
No, I
And he
didn't.
connected to the Wi-Fi and figured out how to put himself back together.
Wow.
It was the same. It was the exact same thing. It was the same when the computers started beating up the scientists and unaliving them. Yeah, one of those robots, they chopped him up, and he connected to Wi-Fi and put himself back together.
Yeah. They
He sure did.
and I really think that they thought that they stopped whatever was going on between the computers. But I don't really think it ever did stop.
So, Rolex watch runs with no battery, right? Can you bring me a water bottle from out of there, please? A Rolex watch runs with no battery,
Hmm.
right? Okay. What's inside a Rolex that makes the Rolex run is found inside our melanin. It's found inside our melanin.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff in our metal.
So
That's why we're so expensive. That's why we work so much.
that's how they're gonna get these. That's how they're gonna get the robots to run. That's how they're gonna get the robots to run. And then, so in the clip that they deleted, I don't know why they deleted it, because I had read an article, and the article was talking about superior melanin. So I can I don't think I can say where the superior melanin is, but I think you understand where it's at. And so it was talking about a superior melanin that will allow the robots to basically like recharge themselves like a Rolex watch.
That's right.
Now that part, how they recharge like a Rolex watch, that wasn't in the article, but I just knew as a little girl that a Rolex doesn't take a battery. That's why it's so expensive. That's what I remember hearing.
It doesn't take
And
a
then
battery, but it's also based off a mechanism called kinetics.
and the diamond that's in there, and the little ruby that's in there, and the gold that's in there, and the platinum that's in there, and all of the energies from these little these little particles or whatever you want to call it that they put in the watch. That's what keeps the watches going. And that stuff can be found inside that superior melanin. So people who have superior melanin have been coming up missing.
But that's the part you all don't recognize. It's like the scientists recognize that we have 9 strands in our DNA versus everybody else has 6.
Now there's a movie called damn, what's the damn movie called? What's the movie called that we just watched with Tom Hanks and that robot Finch? Finch. It was called, I think it's called Finch. And so it
Okay,
was
I've
so
seen it.
interesting how I read that article and then saw a clip of Finch, and the clip that I saw was Tom Hanks not being able to go into the sun,
No,
so he had to have a robot do it.
it was because of the nuclear radiation from the nuclear fallout. That's why.
Right, but but he could not go into the sun, so he had to transfer himself, basically transfer his consciousness into a robot to get the robot to go do the things that he couldn't do because he could no longer go out into the sun. So that's where a lot of these people with this superior melanin, I think that's where they're going. I think their melanin is being transported or something and put into these robots. And I think people are putting their consciousness into these robots. And that's how they stay charged by whatever is inside this superior melanin.
But there's a lot more to melanin and you know, they talk about it, about the matter. You ever seen the scientific study on dark matter? Because they say that it is in the universe and it's what's between the planets and the stars, which I really believe is
Talk a
melanin.
little bit louder for me, babe. Talk a little louder, honey.
They talk about dark matter. Anybody read up on dark matter? The scientific study on dark matter?
It's like a
No.
black hole.
No, dark matter is
It's-
what the space itself. They consider it to be dark matter.
Which goes
Yeah,
back to do it go back to sacred geometry?
Well, I really, what I read, which I thought was quite interesting, was that the dark matter to me is, to me, from what I was reading, like a form of melanin. That's what I really think. You know, the more that I read up on different things, but I haven't been able to read like I want lately. But you know, dealing with the crazy stuff in here in California, so there's a lot of stuff that's been going on. I just stopped. My thing is, I have tapped out of really watching television and really just looking at the news to detox
Yeah. Yeah.
because I needed to get away from that. I used to read a lot. I'm going to get back into it, but there there's a lot of things that I see going on where it's like they're changing stuff because they're trying to change the narrative in our minds to get us on a different trajectory. And I really think that because we are vibing so high and we're starting to come together, I really think that they really are trying to figure out a way to just keep us from getting closer together and vibing with the frequency of the earth that's being elevated. That's my particular take on that. Because if we don't elevate with the frequency, we dissipate, we die, we go. And I really think that people in our conscious, we're getting to certain levels, but the elites do not want us at that level because they want to control. They want to be in charge. And my thing is why? What is it? Why can't we just be? Why can't we just enjoy life and be free? You know, because you think about it, when we go to school, it doesn't teach us to have autonomy. It teaches us to be employees and to deal and to live within the system.
Yeah. 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 Interesting. God King, is you saying God King? Yeah, God King, if you want to come to the panel, you're welcome to come to the panel. I'll put you on and you can say what it is that you need to say. I do not mind. Okay. Divine Bay, I did want to pick your brain with this. Hey Tomboy. I did want to pick your brain about this debate with what happened with Trump and stuff. I just kind of want to know like your thoughts and how you feel about what happened. Somebody was asking me, and I want to ask you.
That was a setup all day. I hate saying that like that. That was a setup. I mean, what security in their right mind would forget to check one roof?
Hmm.
And then when they had the man on the other roof that told the local police that it was a man climbing up the building, the local police officers didn't even do nothing about it. And they had the witness on the news that saw it.
And the people were telling them. I think it was a setup. I really do. I think it was a setup. I really think that, I hate to say it, I don't feel, if Trump gets in office, I think they're going to take him out. And I hate to say that like that.
But you know, if they take him out, he was the right one. But I was saying too on the last live that I think that they have done it to him before. And I think somebody in his group have figured out for him to keep coming back. But again, I do think there's two of him. One could be a clone. I don't know. But I do think that there's two of him.
I said that about, remember Dick Cheney? I'm going way back. Some of y'all might be too young. George Bush, vice president. And remember, he had a heart attack. And remember, for the first year, you did not see him. And I told my mom, I was a child, I'm like, that's a clone. And my mom was like, you're Joe. They would laugh at me. But I just knew he was a clone. Because why was he not seen for almost the first entire year of the presidency? You know,
But do you remember when
he had a heart attack. He had a heart attack, and when he had that heart attack, I really think that gentleman died, and they just wanted to keep that in place. But I really think he left this earth. I hate to say that, because if you know,
Thank you for sending them gifts to them. I appreciate it.
But do you remember when little George Bush and Dick Cheney went hunting, and then little George Bush shot him?
yes,
Shot him on that hunting trip. That's when he disappeared, and then they ruled it out as having a heart attack.
that's right, and that's why I said he died at that point. I say he died at that point, and I was a child when I said that, and everybody was just like, "What?" And I'm like, "No, he actually died at that point. He was gone."
Interesting. So now that we're on to cloning stuff, and you know we always do it'll come back around. I'm sure we'll do a 360 and get to talking about some other stuff. But now that we're on the duplicating situation, who do y'all think, like, just in general, who all do y'all think is a duplicate, and why do you think that they are been duplicated?
Well, I knew Dick Cheney for sure was a duplicate. I knew that right there, and I really think Princess Kate.
Princess Kate, I don't know who that is.
Princess Kate, or Queen. What's his name?
Welcome back, Kennedy.
Prince William's wife in England.
Princess Diana?
Mrs. Diana's son married a young lady named Kate.
The black girl.
No, not her, the other one, Kate Middleton.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, the one that's sick now and that's going through that cancer or some kind of cancer or something she's going through.
Because remember, she disappeared for a while, but she disappeared right when that list was supposed to come out with Epstein, and she was a yacht girl back then. Remember? And all that.
And they had it all over the internet about her sitting on that bench, and she was telling about how the press didn't need to talk to her because she was very sickly and stuff like that, and she needed her privacy.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was. I really think that's a clone also, because it's something that she knows, or something she was about to say and she was trying to get away. And I really think that they are trying to keep that monarch in play for a little while, but I think it's being dismantled.
Interesting. And that takes us back to that movie we was talking about. They cloned Tyrone.
Yep.
What was the point of them cloning him, though?
The point they were making, and you paid attention to the end, that they were utilizing him throughout our community to bring destruction. because he was also in Los Angeles at the end, remember? They were just showing how he was in different areas and using the same archetype to bring the destruction of our race. You think about what happened in the 80s, man. That was horrible. You know,
I was a baby in the 80s, so you'd have to tell me because
it was what I saw happen in the 80s as a young, I was like in my late teens, early 20s. And I grew up in another area. I didn't grow up around it, but when I did go into those areas, it was like a war on that community, in that community. And what I'm saying is, not all of us were affected because some of us were not in the community. And I really think that it was the government bringing it in to basically destroy it. Because you got to realize that, first off, during the 60s and stuff, the church and the women and the men were strong and the families were strong and they stood together. And family was everything within our community. So to destroy that and to keep us from moving forward and to keep doing what we were doing, what is the best way to attack them? Place something in the community that was easily accepted, easily uh, accessible, that was cheap.
crack.
There you go. Because it wasn't brought in by us. We don't have the plane.
And you know what? There's a story, just a story. You gotta know my story. But I remember there was a certain community, right? Now, mind you, I basically, from like, like elementary, I'm in Texas, but like middle school, high school years, I'm in San Diego, right? And so while I'm in San Diego, there was a certain group of people who they didn't have much, but they stayed together, they lived together, they always was like a bunch of them in one car, like, there was a community of people. And then I remember my mama said that those people made an agreement with the CIA to bring that stuff into our community. And that's what got them out of poverty. That's what got a lot of them out of poverty.
Yes.
And they took it back to their right across the border. So they also had a hand in, but at the end of the day, you can't blame nobody but the people who wanted to explore. You could have said no. At the end of the day, yes, I get it that they brought it into our communities. Maybe giving it to the children, that was different, because I do have, I had a friend who started smoking it at 14 years old.
But you also got to look at the psychological trauma that has been placed on us from slavery. And the psyopses that are completely done on us time after time. And you got to realize that that trauma is also built into our DNA that we deal with. So if you are never given the opportunity to have a level playing field, I mean, look at Black Wall Street. As soon as look at Rosewood, as soon as we get a level playing field, they know that if they give us just a little, that we will take it and run.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you're going to constantly always do these psyops. They're going to constantly do psyops to keep us in a state of mind, in a state of fear, in a state of a struggle to keep our minds off of getting better. And so if you are constantly bombarding people with this, what you think it becomes a psychological issue that we don't even know.
Yeah, well, that's just what a lot of people want to do. It's kind of like It's kind of like the black person in West Africa invented the banjo, and guess who got it and perfected it? A white person. They got the banjo, and now a lot of black people don't even want to. Oh, I don't want to listen to that banjo playing music.
Yeah.
But, but guess who's making $1 billion off of it? White country singers are playing an instrument that the black person invented in West Africa.
And
The black person invented it, and then the white person got it and perfected it.
kick that
So
thing
white people just take everything black people have,
Greg,
and then they perfect it.
Greg,
Uh-huh.
be careful, be careful.
Okay.
Be careful.
So they just perfected it though. I'm just letting some people know about that instrument. It was invented it by black people in West Africa.
Yeah.
And then the country music singers just took it and perfected it.
Yeah. And kicked us out.
hmm
And then told us we better not come back in.
But
Okay.
look how they treated Beyonce.
Can I be honest? Or without can I just be honest?
You could be honest.
And I don't want y'all looking at me away, but I'm gonna be honest. I listen to country music.
I do too. I grew up on it. Charlie.
And I absolutely love some country music. I love it, and I'm gonna tell you why I love it. Because I'm one of those people that I just love, and it makes me feel good, you know. And so the music that's made for us, I don't get that anymore. You know, that good old 90s music, that's gone. I don't get that anymore, right? And so when I hear country music, I still can get that. It's missing the soul, but it's still good. It's good
I
enough.
started listening to country music when my mama introduced me to Charlie Pride.
That's right, Charlie Pride.
Charlie Pride. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be listening to country music today.
I don't know who Charlie Pride is, but I'll check him out. But now this is how I feel.
Yeah.
This is how I feel about the Beyonce thing, right? Because I feel like our music has already been tainted, right? Just my opinion, and I feel coonish for saying it, but I'm gonna say it. I feel like if we go over to country, then we lose it too. I feel like then it's gonna be countrified music, calling people bitches and hoes and shake that ass. It's just gonna sound like country music. Because even K Michelle wanted to go over there, and I'm just like, K Michelle and country music, girl, you need to. Woman can't raise no man. Like, girl, go back over there to that. Stay in that genre that you in, because I feel like if we do go over to country, and I know y'all probably gonna beat me up for this,
Came from
I
us,
feel like
though.
we're gonna dirty it up.
But country music came from us. That's what
I get it. It came from us before. It came from us before we became so low vibrational.
But there is still a lot of music out there that I get that is quite beautiful. It's just the fact that it's not placed out to the masses.
And the masses is the ones who's gonna transfer over into country music, and they gonna mess it up, like K Michelle.
But there are a lot of black country artists that are fabulous. A lot of young black artists.
There is, but they're on a different vibration, and these people are not known like K Michelle, or well, not to our community anyway. You know what I mean? And so maybe what I'm saying is, maybe we don't need the wrong black people to cross over. And I just feel like I don't want to lose the country music too.
But black people was in the country before anybody else was.
I get it.
So they were more country, cooking on Dutch ovens and all that other stuff, and swinging from trees, and then having fun and cutting wood and building log cabins and just trying to survive. So they were basically the birthplace of music. So why should they just have a category?
A lot of stuff that we did was done in our higher selves. Even when it comes to hip hop rap, that was even done in our higher selves, and that's now even done in a lower vibration, to where I can't enjoy rap no more.
But I kind of disagree. I'm agree to disagree with you on that one. The reason why is the industry itself is placing certain things out there for the masses to hear. However, there are many of us, there are many young people that are out there making beautiful music that are trying to publish themselves because
You're
they're
right.
smart
You're
enough
right.
not to
Right.
eat.
And it goes back to what I said though. It goes back to what I said. These are people that are on a higher vibration. And so I backtracked a little bit and said, so maybe what I mean is these type of black people that's trying to get into country, I just feel like they're gonna taint it up. You know, there are some beautiful black male singers that I have found that do country music. But I feel like they're coming from a higher self. I don't know.
I mean, you
Just when
gotta
I see
realize
I
Drizzy
just
Drake
feel
and
like
all of
we
them
should look
gonna
at
get
the
over
work.
into country music, I feel like it's gonna get messed up.
Trinity was saying something. I didn't hear Trinity. I'm sorry, Trinity.
No, you're fine. I was just saying that country, the word itself, is that's where we originate from.
Yes.
So I believe that we're everything, and nothing is technically wrong. It's just the expression of that soul.
Okay, explain some more, babe.
I'm shy. I don't like to talk. But like your soul is the reason you're here. Your soul is your heart. You know. I mean, have any of you all studied the body, the thing that we're in right now?
Yes. Did you ever see this documentary? And it was a very short documentary, and it was called 21 Grams. And it was this German.
Is it about the soul?
Yes, and they said the soul weighs 21 grams.
Weighs. How much it weighs, yeah.
Yes, and they said everybody that they weighed before the person died was always 21 grams less than when the person died. So with that being said, the soul is energy to me, and energy never dies. It just changes into something else. And I just think that when we leave this physical avatar, this experience that we did, we're on to the next one. And that's not taken, like you said, it's just the expression of the soul. Some people have darker souls, and some people have that light, vibrant soul. And some people know how to walk that middle path. I agree with Trinity on that. That's why I said I agree to disagree, because I really think that the beauty of us is that everyone brings a different definition to the vibration and the frequency of this earth to make it what it is.
Okay, so if just out of curiosity, if somebody made a country song and it's like, you know, we selling dope and guns and that bitch over there. I don't know, like, so I'm a little bit confused, 'cause in my mind I feel like I don't want that type of country. I just don't want that to transfer over to country music, because that's the
Can
music
I
that
speak on that? I just say that's free will. Like a soul has free will to make a decision. You pick not to listen to that. Don't listen to it. It's
Right.
another soul who wants chaos because it needs
Right.
something to create from. Remember when you said a potential, you have to hit rock bottom in order to create? It's almost like that. The soul knows what it is looking for. Even though we disagree, it's
No, no,
that
no, no,
person.
no, 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 no. I
Yeah.
honestly don't think that there's really too much disagreement. I just think that maybe because I already know I don't speak English well. And so sometimes I'll say things and people don't really understand what I'm saying. But I don't think that we're on the wrong, I don't think that we're disagreeing. Because I think what you're just saying right now, you just helped me clarify exactly what I'm saying. Like how you just said, you can choose not to listen to it. And that's what I'm saying right now. Like it's so much. Yo, who would scream like that? OMG, don't mess with him. Oh, good grief. Oh, that just took me all the way out of what I was saying. She said,
Free will.
She said you could choose not to listen to it. And that's what I'm saying. I can still put on a country channel and I don't have to worry about certain songs coming in where now I got to rush and change it. Whereas when I'm listening to our type of music, and I'm not trying to bash us. That's why I said it's hard. I think it's hard for black people and I think it's hard for white people when we are just really trying to just come out and just say what we feel without a lot of people thinking that we're being coons or racist or anything like that, because I don't feel like I'm being coonish, but I feel like people will take it as me being a coon. Like, oh, you don't want black people in country music, something that we started. And there is country people who do great music and they are black and I listen to them. Okay. Do I know any country song name? Any of them? No, I don't know nobody's name. Okay. I know Tim McGraw because he's been around since I was little, and pretty much that's where I started with Tim McGraw. And so that's how I know him, and I'm from Texas. So that's that. But if I have to stop listening to country music because those spirits have taken over, then I lose my country music, if that makes sense. And I'm just not out of so many things that I have had to give up because of that spirit. I'm just not ready to give up. I'm like, damn, my country music too. Like that spirit then came over here to the country music too. Like I'm trying to get away from that spirit that Trinity's talking about. And that's how come I left. I don't listen to today's hip hop. I don't all of that. I don't listen to that stuff. You know, so I try to play like country music and old music. I just try to run away from that spirit. So if that
But
spirit
that's
jumps
what music is really all about. It's about telling a life story. It's about telling your story. It may be good, bad, sad, happy.
I'm not ready for it. I'm
But
not
you
ready
got
for that.
you got the country music where the guy coming on and he lost his girl, then his dog got shot, his house burned down, then the town burned down. I'm just saying, you got a lot of country music like that. But what I'm stating is sometimes you create your own world, your own source. And I have like my Spotify. And my algorithm on the Spotify knows that I love music. I love songs. And it will give you the latest music from the newest artists, which are young and they are they're spectacular. Yeah.
Interesting.
Because I choose what I listen to. And so sometimes I might want to listen to a Drake, or I might want to listen to a Little Wayne or something like that every now and then.
Some of that old music.
But
I listen to the old stuff. I don't listen to none of the new stuff.
and so like I listen to the new stuff to see the temperature of society and the mindset.
Hold on, baby. Hold on. My queen.
But I agree with you as well. I think that music is per the emotion if you need to express or get a feeling or understanding. It's just there. You can pick it.
Yes. Yes.
You don't have to get away from me. You just be quiet, baby. Don't be yelling. That's all I'm saying is don't yell. I'm sorry, girl. I'm sorry. They started screaming. And it's already, you already talk with a little tiny voice.
But
You got a petite voice.
there's sometimes that I just want to, maybe I want to hear something different, but sometimes I listen because I want to be able to see where some of the young people are and their mindset and what's going on with them. But also, I want to also see what the powers of that be are trying to place within the mindset of our young people, because that is not reflective of most of our young people. Just to say that. And so you got to realize that sometimes things are framed and placed in a way to affect people a certain way, because everybody knows that music brings a vibe and a vibration can cause certain things to happen. And so why not use the music as a mechanism to attack certain individuals to make them live a certain way that leads to destruction?
I say that it's no life without destruction.
You right. No life without destruction, because somebody has to die in order for someone to live. Like with death comes rebirth. I get that part. But I'm so serious about how I feel about, the country music. I'm just not ready for it to be taken over by a low vibration, because then that's something else that I'm gonna have to give up. When I've already gave up so many foods, I done already gave up so many friends, and I didn't already gave up so much. I'm just not ready to give up the country music right now.
But
But
it's so much bad and good in all walks of life, especially music. So you got music for different races, creeds, and colors, and then you just got to put a filter on stuff now and then, just kind of like filter it out, and then say, "Oh, I'll listen to it today," but then that I found out about it, I won't listen to it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if it's just me, and I'm shy too. But I don't know if it's just me. But like, is there a lot of people too that say that they listen to all types of music and stuff? Because I've heard that. I've said that. So it's like kind of bombard you with all the type of genres, all the type of backgrounds of people's music that just hits you.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's also what it is.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Because then I'll say, oh no, I don't really like country music. There are, you know, it's a select few of songs that I like to listen to, but that's only because I came across someone that listens to country music, not necessarily like I will be listening to a set of an artist or like an artist like album. You know,
Okay.
I'll say, oh no, but I like everything but country music. But
You
that's
said I like everything but country. I like a lot of music, but I had to turn away from from hip hop. I had to turn away from it, and I feel like R&B don't really exist no more either, because
It
it's
does.
just it's so low vibrational for me. It's so low vibrational that I just don't play it. And then it's so funny because it'll go from playing like Mariah Carey to playing Chris Brown, and because Chris Brown was out when Mariah Carey was super popping, and because he's also out with new artists today, sometimes the new artists creep they way in. And it's just I don't know. I just don't want to be. I don't. It's just a lot of this new music that I'm just not into. I just feel like they just be overplaying themselves. I feel like if I listen to that music, especially with my grandbabies here, I feel like they're gonna be growing up calling women like bitches and hoes and stuff. And I don't want to be responsible for that. But when I listen to
Yeah.
other genres, depending on what genre it is, I can play country music around them, and I don't have to worry about running to the radio and changing it, if that makes sense. I don't know if that
You
makes sense.
like
It does
that.
it to
You're
me.
right.
I'm saying it does it to me because I really feel that I have like I said, it's an algorithm, and it depends on what you listen to. But my algorithm knows that I love music and jazz. It knows that I love different types of music, and it will pull different things and introduce you to different things. But if you shut yourself off to hear what's new and come into this head, you won't be able to see the new artists that are so amazing and beautiful and that
You
can
could be
play.
right. You could
And
be right about
so
that.
and so when you start to close yourself off, that means you're going to stop yourself from growing.
It's just music though.
But music is a vibe that can open you up to other things. It can introduce
Yeah, but
other
to a
things.
degree, I don't have to listen to everybody's music in order for me to
I'm
vibe.
not that,
You
but that's not
know?
what I'm stating. I'm not stating that you had to listen to every music. All I'm stating is
Right.
what you're
And
stating is that
and at the same
R&B
time, there
is
will be some artists that I'll never know.
that's
But
it.
then there are some artists that I have found. Like a lot of people don't listen to music that's like from England and British artists and stuff like that. That's how I found Jacob Banks.
I do. I listen to all that. You know.
Because I listen to a lot of stuff. Like, and there's a lot of people who don't know about Jacob Banks. I listen to John Batiste. It's not like I don't listen to our people, but there is a certain vibration
Like the
I'm,
country
I'm
music, it has a good beat, but me personally, I don't understand what they're saying.
the reason why I'm saying the country music is the country music is easier for my children to listen to or my grandbabies is because the men are not on there calling people bitches and hoes, and it's like it's not sexual stuff. Like, okay, for instance, like when I was younger, our moms could play like LL Cool J, backseat in my Jeep. Let's have episodes. We didn't know what that meant. Backseat of my Jeep. Let's have an episode. We didn't know. I remember we was like backseat of my Jeep. Let's drink an apple soda because that's what we thought it was, you know. But today, these lyrics they're not hidden. And I'm sorry that it's our people that's putting it out there. I'm sorry that it's and you know, matter of fact, I'm not sorry that I have to be the one to point that out because people should already know. Like, what people do you see all the time talking about taking one down the throat, like being the best at it, taking I don't. It's
Can
just a bunch of nonsense.
can I go back and say again? The industry is framing things to target certain artists. And I'm going to keep stating that.
And you're right about that.
And so if you
You're right about that. You are definitely right about it.
and so if you keep if you I don't give it energy. I listen to I listen to it sometimes to see what's going on and
Right.
what they're trying to push out there to keep myself aware.
Right.
Right.
And also keep a commonality with the younger generation. I mean, I'm 55, trying to stay alive, but at the same token,
Congratulations.
thank you. But at the same token, um, I relate very well to the younger generation, and it's due to the fact that, like my grandmother stated, you're only as old as you think you are.
You know something else? I don't really understand reggaeton music. I don't understand what they're saying. I think it's because they're going just too fast.
No, they're speaking in their language also.
And
There's a lot of
reggaeton
slang
music,
out there. You really need a slang dictionary to understand what the younger people are saying.
Right.
And that's why I really get off into country music because they're speaking plain English, what I was taught in school. I wasn't taught street slang in school. So you really can't understand it. I'm kind of like this lady right here just hosting this show on TikTok. I can't really understand it and can't get into it because I understand the country better because that's the language I learned in school. That's the language they taught us. That's the language they put on T-shirts and
and it's a polite
billboards and
language,
everything.
and it's polite, and it's polite language. Again, I can listen to this music, and I get what she's saying about the algorithm. I don't know. It's weird because when I be talking to people, it's like I can understand people and their perspective, but then it's like when I say stuff, it's like people be having a hard time like understanding like my part of it because everything comes like in twos, you know, the yin and the yang. It's always going to be a this and a that. And so it's just weird that what I'm saying is I can listen to country music with my grandbabies and I don't have to worry about what's coming on next.
And I can listen to R&B and jazz with my great niece and great nephew.
And I can and I can worry about that. I listen to I said that. I listen to old music. I said that. But I don't listen to this new music.
And I said I understood. I
Yeah.
said, but I
But the
listen to
algorithm
it.
is weird. Now let me tell you how the algorithm is weird because I don't know but if I'm playing something like
You tell me about it.
Whitney Houston, right? Then the next thing that will play will be Mariah Carey. Well, Mariah Carey was out when Chris Brown was out. Their music was playing together at the same time. So then it will go from Mariah Carey to Chris Brown. And then because Chris Brown has started doing music with these new artists, then the next song that will play will be a Chris Brown featuring that artist. And then it will go from that song to a new artist song. And now I'm listening to a whole bunch of music that I can't listen to with the babies.
That doesn't happen to me, so I don't know. That it really doesn't happen to me. I don't know how to explain it, but it doesn't happen to me.
Interesting.
But I like I stated, I'm not disagreeing with you.
Right.
All I'm saying is sometimes we have to have our finger on the pulse of the younger generation so that we can understand and speak with them. And like what I do for a living, I have to be able to speak to everyone on every level.
Interesting.
And when you're able to meet people where they're at, they appreciate it more and they will be willing to open up to you.
Yeah, that's right. Like, I understand what you are saying, Kiwi, because when you're listening to the new music, it's not hidden. Like, for example, well, I know my mom would say, you know, my mom would say, just there's no clean version, and I would never, have to listen to a clean version.
I say you sleep.
No,
Huh?
no.
You said
I would
no.
never, I would never have to listen to a clean version.
You want a couple of your thighs?
But now I just kind of like look for that clean version. I know what it's saying, but I just look for the clean version. So I listen to the new music because I know what it's saying, but I just get the clean.
A clean version of it.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Okay. And the clean version might sound better. But it's so funny because I don't know how old you are, but I remember when we had to go look for the dirty version.
Yes.
Yes.
I remember that. And so now it's like now we have to look for the clean version.
Or
Yes.
the B sides, you know?
So it's just things it's just to me it's just changed. It's just changed. And I just feel like if the today's artists move over into that genre, I think that genre would be messed up.
Can I say something? This
Yes,
is what I
ma'am.
this is what I believe, that we're here to master and continually evolve self.
Okay.
So remember when we were kids and like televisions and technology came out and we had elders or older people that say, I just don't understand it. That's going to be the end of the world because of that. But this is a programming that we're operating off of in order for the next generation to advance per their soul, which means that it will become harder. When I think of a programming, I think of a game.
Okay.
And they're trying to evolve to a higher level. So you have to have an enemy in order to evolve. Kind of like what you said in the last live before you got off. These people hated me, and that's what fueled me to keep me going.
Right.
Right. It's like that. It's like that.
Right.
If it makes sense, it's upon all aspects of life. This is the root. This is the foundation of everything.
Okay.
That's just one aspect, but you know, a root, if you grow plants, they have multiple roots. And it can speak to, it speaks underneath, underground, not technically out in the light, because the darkness is where you get your power from. Does it make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yes, it's kind of like when they say, oh no, like when you hear a rapper say it, when you hear this person say it, that doesn't mean you have to say it. You know what I mean? You get to pick and choose. And that's the cool thing about music is you get to pick and choose. Like what you're going to listen to, what the music is.
How it makes you feel.
Mm-hmm.
And how it makes you feel. Yeah. And I have been in some of the toughest times in my life. And I have had some really good artists pull me up out of that tough time. So for me, music means a lot to me because, they say it's a Pisces thing, but I don't know if a lot of Pisces feel this way. I feel like it's more than just a Pisces thing. I feel like it's a soul or a spiritual thing. I think a lot of us are really addicted to music just because it just makes you feel good. But I've had some songs pull me up out of places. You know, like it is definitely for me a feeling and it's a vibe. Music is a whole vibe for me and I've learned a lot just sitting back and just listening to music and processing my feelings. So what you just said, Eddie, I definitely agree with it. It's a choice and to a degree it becomes a lifestyle. You can kind of know a lot about a person by the music that they choose to listen to. At least at that time, you know?
Yes, I know. But that's the thing is like there's only so many. And I think that in terms of like how I said, oh, I don't necessarily earlier saying listen to country music. I listen to everything but country music. That's not because I decided. It's just because I'm like, oh, it's not so not that I don't like it. I just don't listen to it. I don't, like I said, I don't understand it. So when someone does introduce me to something, they're like, listen. And then I'll listen and they're saying, this is what it's saying. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's a good song. I'll save it on my Spotify. And if I want to add it to a playlist, well, there you go. But there's so much. There's only so much. So, yes.
Now, when you say
Certain
there's only so
songs
much, what do
can
you mean
touch
by
you at
that?
certain moments. I mean, if you're sad that day and you hear a song, it might remind you of when you were pregnant. It might remind you of when your grandfather died. It might
Yeah.
even remind you of the car ride you took to the next state with your parents or something. It may bring up good and bad memories. So that's what music is there for. And especially me, when I'm feeling sad or something, I'll just start singing. I mean, anybody that know me when something's not going right, then I just start singing.
Right. And I think in terms of like the music that, Key was saying, like with Chris Brown and all those artists around his time when he was starting up, like the early 2000s, I never really listened to it. Why? Because a lot of people would say, oh no, don't listen to that type of music. And like I remember certain songs were taken off the radio. They were banned. Like those songs were banned. Like they don't exist anymore.
Like, what kind of songs?
I don't know. I just remember when I was growing up with the early 2000s, they were saying, "Oh no, this song is banned," and I'm like, "Oh well, I guess I'm never gonna hear it ever in my life again."
Well, you gotta realize that's when the Congress had did that thing with Tupac and the hip hop, remember? And it was removing
Oh
certain
yeah, put in
Right.
that advisory label
yeah, and
on
putting
everything. Put that
Yes.
advisory label.
Yeah, they would
When
say, "Oh," and I'm
Congress
like,
came
"I'm
in
never gonna
and
listen to
put
it
the
ever
advisory label
again."
on everything.
It
So
got
around
banned.
what year was
It's like if
this?
it did exist.
It started back in the late '80s, I think. It started back in the late '80s,
Oh, okay,
especially with
okay.
Two Live Crew and all of them back in '87. That's when
Okay.
it really kicked off with
See,
when
I
people
had
like
a
Two Live Crew.
I had a really, really strict mom. And so I didn't get to start listening to music till the mid '90s. Like literally like 98, 97 is when my mama started letting me listen to music. I couldn't listen to music, and there was a lot of stuff on TV that I couldn't watch. And so that could be another reason how come like a lot of hip hop music and stuff, my mom was like, no. She's like, you can't listen to that. She didn't. And that's interesting because I'm that way with my grandbabies. I'm like, I don't want them listening to that.
yeah, they can't hear that. It's not for them to digest. You
Yeah.
know, I just say that sometimes music is a playlist to our lives. Like artists like Michael Jackson, some of us grew up with him, and when he died, it was devastating to us because it's like, wow, I grew up with him listening to it, and you hear a song and you can go back in time and say, wow, that's when I was on a swing with Jane and we were having a ball and that song was playing. And I really think that when we look at it in that aspect of how it can bring back memories, and it's even done like when I worked in the homes when I was younger, and we would put music on, even though they might have had um, a neurological degenerative disease, they would, when we put the music on from their era, it would bring them back.
Yeah.
And I thought that was so beautiful.
I already knew what you was gonna say before you even said it.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Make a move.
Yes.
Because it's music is it's in your soul.
Hmm.
And I could see you listening to like smooth jazz and stuff like that because it matches who you are. And that's how come I was saying for some people you kind of can, and I'm not gonna say like who they are forever, but like in certain moods you can kind of tell like who a person is and how they feel. depending on the music that they play.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And like I said, I tend to keep up because the type of work I do. I mentor a lot of the younger generation, and I don't know why they gravitate towards me. I guess because I have no filter. I'm having a filter on this app, but I have no filter. Um, I'm very truthful, and I will call a thing a thing. I will,
Okay.
and so I think they like the way that I react to certain things.
Okay.
They would
Okay.
point something out to me just so they could get a reaction off of my reaction or whatever I say, because I'm the person that's going to say it. You will think
Okay.
it, but I'm going to straight up say it. And I have a knack whereas I can say certain things and get away with it. Where if someone says the same thing I say, they'll get written up and whatever. It's just, and I think that it is like you said, it's everything's a vibe, everything's on a certain frequency, and sometimes we have to listen to certain things just to understand who that person is and just get a clearer understanding. Sometimes that's why I listen to the music. I'm just saying, just to see where that person is and where their soul is. And sometimes people listen to certain music because they're trying to find themselves.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Yeah. And I think I've had my fair share of negative music. I've had my fair share of it.
Mm-hmm.
Some people use
My-
music as therapy. Well, they use
Yeah.
it as therapy. Some people
Yeah.
use it as therapy, especially my mother. Anytime something bad went to happen, she would always think about church songs and James Brown, Black Power, how he made the black people stop doing what they was doing and just act right.
That's me.
And you see what you just stated, Mr. Greg. The thing is this: that type of music had a conscience, and they don't want us awake. So therefore, they want to lure us back to sleep with this type of music that they have out now, and have us work from our roots.
That makes sense. It makes sense because he just said how his mom heals from music. I literally just told the world how I heal from music. And so they said, music is helping people heal. So let's make the music not help them heal.
Yes.
And you know why hip hop is gonna be big now, because Tyler Perry owns BET now. He bought BET. He owns it. Yes, Tyler Perry owns BET. So
Oh,
hip hop is
wow.
gonna be out there. He's gonna be pushing that so hard until he's gonna try to make a lot of money off of it. So if they're speaking gibberish or language we can't understand, even if we do get a slang dictionary, then Tyler Perry just gonna be making money off of it. He's gonna be our first black trillionaire.
Can I just add that, like, in the new music, when it comes to, like, rappers talking about certain things, for example, Nicki Minaj and Drake, like, they're kind of talking to each other in their music, okay? That's kind of like, something that they're referencing in like between them. And I think a lot of artists do it to each other in the sense where it's like to get it out of the way. You know what I mean? Like we're not gonna actually explicitly say that we do this, but this is what we do, like us, this is what we do. But like this is what I do. This is what goes on. And yeah, like I think that, again, these rappers, they don't explicitly, reference certain people, but they do say these things as if everyone's doing it.
Right. Interesting. But you think they're having a conversation.
And I think they're saying it to get out of the way. I don't think they're being like certain innuendo, like all of this stuff to actually say this is what's going on. Like, I think it's more of, this is my lifestyle. And that's what the new music is. Like, this is my lifestyle. Like, okay, get it out of the way. Yeah, this is what happened. Yeah, yeah. Like all this stuff. And I don't know. I like it. I honestly like it because it's like saying, yeah, this is what we do. This is this and what? And what about it? Like
If, are you
it gives you power. It gives you, you know, black rappers, they do that. They will say that kind of stuff where it's like, yeah, I do this and what, but they're not gonna say, oh, you know, calling other people out, because it's like, well, what other people? But
and you say you like that.
I
You like
like
more
it.
of the music.
I like it because it's like, oh, I get out of the way. Like, I can
They are venting
express
their
it through my music.
frustrations and then legally being able to get away with it. Instead of just walking up out in public telling somebody that, then they go in the recording
We're
studio and put
actually
it on
doing it.
CD.
Right,
And then
right.
they actually do it and be able to legally get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
He
Right.
said, then they do it and legally get away with it. I was not expecting that.
Because they're making money off of it too. By talking
Yeah.
about somebody like they're a dog or
But they're
calling
not getting
women
away with it.
sluts and everything else. And so they can't do it to a person's face, because if they do, then they're going to be taken to court. So they do it on the little slang talk that I'm saying that people may need a
Right.
slang dictionary for. So
Right.
they're doing it that way and getting away with it.
But they're also
And
incriminating.
they're getting paid for it at the
Other
same
ways they're
time
gonna get
too.
it out of their system.
They're
You know,
getting it
only a
at their
select few can do that. Only a select few can say that. You get me?
but they also
Like,
get
for
it out
example,
the
let's say we are the top artists. Like, just saying, like, our names, us, you, and who are we listening to? No one. Who's listening to us? So there's only a select few, and to get it out of their system, it's like that's what we're, you know, giving out to the public. Like, that's what we're getting. Well, not to the public, but like, this is what we're giving out. And it's up to you what you necessarily are going to be listening to or not.
Or not. Right. Interesting.
Yeah.
But
So,
I don't think they're really getting away with it. And the reason why I'm stating that is due to the fact that at the end of the day, you have like some of these artists that's in Atlanta that are getting these RICO cases and stuff. It comes back to bite them because they are putting truth out there, because it's coming from the life that they're living, because they are in these ghettos, they are in these low vibration societies that were set up as a rat trap to just have them just fight amongst each other and create this chaos. And it's destroying them in the end. And look at Nikki, what's going on with her right now. She divorced her husband, who shouldn't, I really feel she should not have married, but that's a conversation for another day. And some of the things that she has done to other artists has also helped within her demise because of the fact that she's not great
You
enough
put him back in the room.
elevate younger people, because
You can go to sleep anyway. It's after 11 o'clock. Tell him to lay down.
at the end of the day, everybody has their time to shine. And sometimes it comes to a point where you have to elevate someone else so they can have their time to shine. And so I think Nikki's have been up there, but her demise is here because of that selfish mindset, which is reflected in the music. And I'm just in the music. All the music is coming from a very, like you saying, Miss Kitty, it's a low vibration. But sometimes you have to hit that root chakra to get other things moving in the rest of your chakras, in the rest of the chakras. And I really think that a lot of these young people are venting and trying to let the world know what's going on in their world. And that's why I like to, unfortunately, listen to it, because it gives me an understanding of what I'm walking into. because I have to work all over the corners in all 60 of the territories.
Mm, interesting. I have friends. I have a lot of friends. Well, I don't have a lot of friends, but the couple of friends that I do have, a lot of them, a couple of them still listen to that music. You know, because that's where they feel that, you know, every, like she said, everybody has a choice.
Hmm.
I don't
So,
blame, the rappers that have kind of more of an intense vibe to them, because it's like they're giving back to, their community in a sense. Like they're giving them power through, yeah, I'm saying this and what. Like, because they have to deal with so much. Like what they are, they're black.
so let me ask you a question. You know who Nasty Red is, right?
They have black nasty red.
Sexy Red?
Uh
You talking about
Yeah,
Sexy Red?
yeah, her. You know who she is.
Yeah, I know that.
yes.
She's very trifling.
Do you know some of her lyrics?
Very trifling. Yeah.
Yes.
And just do you feel like that's uplifting for our community?
No, I feel that's done by design.
No. I was not you, baby, Eddie.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't find anything wrong in what she says. Like I've listened to, this kind of music without it being filtered, and I don't feel like it's a bad thing. But that's only because I'm 22 years old and I know how I'm gonna be choosing my choices. Like in terms of when I get to pick my music, like that's my music. That's my, so I don't mind, because they're as in there, it's like whoever, but listening or saying or whatever have you, whatever, it's like that's what I kind of listen to, because they're, saying it in a sense where it's like something new, where it's like, they get to say whatever they want.
But but there's a certain type of responsibility that comes when you want to say whatever you want. And with that responsibility also comes consequences and repercussions. And so like now you're 22 and you're thinking this is okay. But when you turn 35 and you're a mature woman with a career and you're working in corporate America and you're sitting with the CEO of the company and you're on a trip and you're on a plane and you're gonna bust out some Sexy Red because that's what you want to listen to.
Yes, I don't think that there's a problem. I mean, if you want to tell me something, that's fine. I'm not you, Diva, but
I'm not
like
saying that
whoever
you're
wants to tell me
not.
something, if I'm listening to that wherever I'm at, then they can tell me. But up until yet, no one has told me anything if I'm listening to that type of music. Why? Because Nicki Minaj is really like, the first rapper, female rapper, that's like, female rapper. And then there's Nicki Minaj. And then you get like a lot after that. And I got to choose who I'm really listening to. Nasty Red, I have heard like one of their songs. You know what I mean? So I don't mind, what she's saying. Like, why? Because it's like new. It's like I've listened to like different eras in my life. I've listened to like, Spanish music growing up when I'm like, a toddler. And then I started listening to kind of more like, Mexican music, actual Mexican music, like banda. And then after that, I got into like alternative music and then alternative rock and then kind of more into rap, but then back to like indie music. And then I'm like into just like, black artists. Why? Because it's just what I'm into.
But
And
I wasn't saying for you to be like me first off, Eddie. I don't expect you to. But what I was stating was the responsibility of listening to certain music when you are in certain around certain people or when you are in certain circumstances. And I'm just asking, would you bust that out in front of a CEO that you're working for? I didn't say, I said there's consequences and repercussions that can come with that. I didn't say you couldn't listen to it, but have, will you be responsible enough to say, hey, I should not listen to this around this individual or around children? That's all I was stating, and I was asking you, what
Yeah.
would you do?
I'll get looks, you know what I mean, Deepa? But I don't really, read into what they're actually thinking, because then it just throws me off. Then I'm start questioning myself.
Interesting.
But
Okay,
what I'm stating is,
can I just say
I
something?
haven't been told anything in Deepa.
A little different spin on it. And I remember I pulled up to this liquor store one day, right? And this is like when the music just like first started being like super trashy. Like maybe like this was when Little Kim was popped out everywhere. When she was on all the walls with her legs wide open. I don't know if y'all remember that. But this was around that time. And I pull up to this liquor store, and my friend pulled up to the liquor store too. And in my car, I'm playing like some R&B, like maybe some 3T or something like that, something like immature. I'm playing something like sweet, smooth R&B, like something like that. She pulls up and she's playing a whole bunch of this super trashy music, right? And it's interesting the way that the men approach me with my music playing, which maybe I just was exaggerating, I don't know, versus the way that the masculine approached her. And the way he talked to her. And then this is what ruined my friendship with her. Okay? Because I told her, I said, maybe he thought you like to be talked to like that because of the music that you play. And she got mad at me. And again, it goes back to what I was saying, Eddie, and we tell you this not because we're hating, not because we're old hags, not because we're bitter, not because what people say, oh, she's old and I'm young and she's just blah, blah, blah. No, we really do want to see you guys thrive. We do. And we want to see the best for you. But a certain type of music that you play, it says who you are. And I'm on the phone talking to my baby daddy, and my baby daddy was like, depending on the music that women play, he knows how to treat them. And my baby daddy is a piece of shit.
I thought hoe was a bad word. Okay, I truly thought hoe was a bad word. But I saw Vanessa Williams last week. She was in London. Not London. Oh my gosh. England. Maybe she was in London. But anyway. Yeah, she's like an actress and she sings a little bit. She posted something that said like hoe approach. It's a word. It's an actual word. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's what you make it. It's what you make it. When you make it bad, that's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be bad. Okay. So that whole approach means like you're approaching a certain part of where you're going. Like she was in the country and she was going through the country, and she was going through like certain towns, and to go through there, it's called the whole approach. And it's like it's funny. It's like it's a joke.
I mean, it's a joke when you say hag. To me, I'd look at hag as heavenly ascended goddess. You could call me a hag all day.
Yeah. So, and then when people like throw the bitch word at me in a negative way, it can mean anything, So it don't bother me. But if we cool, don't call me that. If we cool, don't call me that. I'm not your bitch. I'm not a bitch. And the only time that someone will call me a bitch is if they're trying to be disrespectful and rude to me, because I don't accept that either. Because it's trust and believe when I sit here and say I don't think that I'm better than anybody. I don't. I just know what it felt like being at the bottom. I know what it felt like being in a very, very low vibration. And for me, I just choose I don't want to be there anymore. And so there's just so many things that I've cut out of my life. And unfortunately, one of my low vibrations that I still do is I still like to go to the bar and to the club. But I don't even really go out as much as I want to because they be playing this stupid music that you can't even really dance to. You can't even dance to the music anymore. It's weird. It's weird. and the music plays in the bars, and even when certain songs come on, they play the music that have men dancing with men. You go out nowadays, the women are dancing with the women. It's that even got weird, so I don't even really go out anymore unless I find an old place, a place that's gonna be playing some old music. If they gonna be playing some old music with some old folks, I'll go. I will go. But Eddie, it's just all about a vibration, and like she said, sometimes your musical choice is you still trying to find yourself, and you could still be in that area of trying to find yourself. So
Especially at
whatever,
the age of 22. You still trying.
yeah, whatever music. Thank you, Heather. So whatever music you choose to listen to, girl, what you eat don't make me shit. You know, so I don't have I still love you. We still can be friends. You know, we still can talk or whatever. It doesn't matter to me. You know, you just choose, like you said too earlier, you choose to listen to that. And just because you choose to listen to it, I'm not going to judge you for being a bad person or anything. I'm just going to chop it up to it's just your generation. You know, you done got caught up in something. And you know, when you do sit down and finally see the bigger picture, which, like I said, I had to do because I had my fair share of music too, that I just had to move away from. You know, you'll see growth on you and you'll appreciate it. And you'll appreciate it. You will.
And
Thank
it's
you.
not, and it's not the whole generation.
No, it's not.
All of them are on different levels, and it's beautiful to see all of their little personalities and to watch how who they become, the beauty of how they grow and who they become. And I think that's beautiful. To see.
Uh-huh. Yeah. 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 I don't even know how we just turned into music. We was all talking about like slavery and politics and stuff, and then it turned into a deep conversation about music. But
Like
music
I have a playlist of like male black artists, and I don't get the clean version. I mean, I can, but I don't because even though it talks about violence, all I just,
what is it? What does it do for you? That means it makes you feel empowering. And so when you feel the power of what, if you don't mind me asking, Eddie?
I don't know. I guess that's what I need to figure out, but I kind of don't see it as it being anything other than not, or, like not power.
So you listen to this music. I just want to understand, honey. I just want to understand. So you listen to this music and it makes you feel empowered, but you're not sure what you feeling empowered for or about.
Can I say something real quick as far as with Eddie? In the beginning of this phone call, she said that she is shy, kind of like me. So that's probably why she listened to that type of empowering music in order to continue on or to push forward. So I understand Eddie on a different level.
Interesting.
It's just like they
Yeah, I
just
thought
speak as
music
if
was
it's just their
supposed to
regular
empower you to do
language.
something good or bad. I mean, I thought that's what music was there for, to empower you, just like what you were saying, in a good way or a bad way.
It
So
doesn't
it's got to do
empower
something.
me.
It's got to be able to move you
It
in
doesn't
some
empower
kind
me.
of
You know what?
form,
It's
way, or
like it
fashion.
gives the artists that actually are making the music, it gives
Uh-huh.
them the power. That I'm a listener, that I'm listening to it.
So what does it do for you to empower you, and why do you listen
Well,
to it?
I get empowerment from anything else. You know what I mean? There's all types of things, movies other than, there's art and all that. Like there's movies, there's, music.
But I don't know, maybe it wasn't particularly in that, but when you listen to this music, you said the music
I think
is
I was just saying that they get power. That it's more of like,
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. I
I
get
just want to say that the power is in the title, and that's what you give out, and then backwards is what you receive back.
And what do you
Written
mean by
backwards.
read it backwards?
Well, you give it out, the title, and then the title written backwards per whatever word you can come up with is what you receive.
Can you give me an example?
Oh Lord, that's a lot. I don't listen to music though. I have stopped
Oh, okay.
for
Oh,
years.
okay.
And if I
What
do
is it?
listen to music, if we're on that topic, it's Janae Aiko,
That's right.
that
Yeah, yeah.
new N.I. Aiko girl, like anything that's uplifting because I only look to music to uplift me.
Uh
Nothing
huh.
more, no power. I have too much power.
There you go. There you go. I I'm not even mad at that comment. That was cute. And that's what I was saying earlier today. You know, just a certain type of vibration and frequency that I want to be on when it comes to listening to music because I know that it can be a program. I know that that music can program you. And one of the things that I know was that song where she said, "I bust the windows out your car," you know. And then one day, me and my husband get into an argument, and I'm ready to bust the windows out of his car because I had that song had just been on repeat because it was just such a beautiful fucking song, you know. So it's just certain things that I have chose to just stay away from. And again, it's not even just music. Like Eddie said, it's food, it's certain TV shows, it's certain, places, just a certain energy that I just choose not to deal with anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, but also, someone that has popped up on the West is Sweetie, and she, has a lot of power and influence, and she has made videos, with her music, her songs. I
Okay.
like it because she's getting up there. She talks about her new song Nani and how she's, gone through literally different periods in her life, and she's gotten to where she is now, and she's like, I don't care anymore. Like she's told multiple people that like I don't care anymore, and she says, and maybe even it's not like I don't care anymore. I don't want to, listen to all these other people and saying that females can't do it. And when she's making a music video, I like that because now, like in the most recent, we're in 2024, but like the most, let's say, past year,
Okay.
not every song is gonna have a music video. Not every song is gonna make it
Right.
to popularity.
To where it needs a video, right?
Yes. So, yeah, I just think that that's kind of, good for her. Like, there is yet again another female rapper that people are not going to want to acknowledge, but she talks about, sex, and she talks about having influence and her being what she is. She's not afraid to say, the things that she likes. Money, like all this stuff, she likes it. So it's like she's not afraid to say that.
I have two questions for anybody who's on
And
the
I
panel.
love that her music. She's good. Like Sweetie, she's she's
I
good.
don't, I don't know
Like
who I don't know who that is. I don't know who Sweetie is, but
Sweetie
I
was
have a
with
question.
Quavo. She was Quavo. I think Quavo's girl.
yeah, yes.
Sweetie was
Interesting.
That
Quavo.
was kind of before I started listening to her. Yes, but yes.
Interesting. So I have two questions about this new music, right? And I just want to know, like, do you guys think that the new music have anything to do with the pipeline to prison? And also, do you guys think that the new music also have something to do with a lot of health decline? And like, for instance, Houston right now has a very, very super, super high case of HIV, like the highest that they have ever seen. My question is, do you guys think that that is related to, some of it is related to music?
So can I pose a question to you all?
Okay.
Don't you think it's strange that the HIV is just hitting one segment of the population?
Wait, say that again.
Don't you think it's strange that HIV is and these different diseases is hitting only one segment of the population?
Correct. Now, is it interesting that that one segment of population listens to what kind of music?
I don't think it's due to the music though.
I
But
think it's
that's a whole nother level that I can't really talk on. But
I
I don't
can't.
think it's not due to the music.
So y'all don't think
gonna
that
use it like that.
anything? Y'all don't think that the music that people are listening to?
I don't think it's due to the music. And I'm gonna say that one more time. I don't think it's due to
I
music.
also don't think it's due to the music.
I think it's due to cognitive dissonance, and that is what they're creating. It's like pushing an agenda
There you
in
go.
the entertainment business, and then in the politics or government business or the statistics of what it is
But they're
causes a
using
conflict.
music, right?
Repeat
But they're
that.
using the music, right?
I think
They're
you're-
not using the music. It's a mind game. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm pushing something in the media,
So the
but then I'm
agenda-
telling you in the
the
other
agenda is
world
not
where
in
the
the
grown-ups are that it's something wrong
No,
with what I'm
disease is
pushing out on the
not.
other side.
It's
So
not
the
because of
agenda
music.
is
It's really
not in
not.
the
It's not
music.
because of music. Disease is not because of music. It's because their habits. They wasn't taught right as a child who to get with, how to have sex with somebody, who not to sleep with. Nobody never really taught those kind of people what to do.
I'm gonna go deeper
Now,
than
I
that.
disagree
there's an
with Greg
agenda.
as well. Because a
there's a-
dis-ease means a dis-ease.
In the
When you're
body.
telling someone what to do, it causes a dis-ease within the soul aspect of that person. Just because your soul
I
chose
like that
a
you
different
smiled though,
path,
Kiwi.
Thank
just
you.
because your soul chose a different path does not mean that someone else's soul chose the same path as you. And it causes a dis-ease, which is a sickness or an illumination or illuminati or illness.
So is there or is there not an agenda? Yes or no?
There is very much so an
So we
agenda.
can all say that there's agenda.
I've
But
heard
if
that.
they say the agenda is in the music, then we say it's not. And not only,
The point
but
that
it's not in the, but it's not in the music. But there is an agenda. It's just not in the music.
there's a point that I will make because I have been in special meetings with National Institute of Health and CDC, and I really think that it is planned, and it can also be another form of Tuskegee experiment. But that's something on a whole nother level that I will say without saying.
Okay.
And I'm speaking from that aspect of it.
Now I can kind of see why some people say HIV is in with the music, because some people are listening to music, having relations, and so that's why they throw it in there. But then they fail to realize that the partner that they're having relations with has a disease. So they figure, oh, the music made me do it. But it really wasn't the music. It
But
was
is
just,
it,
they
because
just wasn't clean.
so is the do the music touch the soul? Yes or no? Do music touch the soul?
It
Music
does.
does touch your soul in a good way and a bad way.
In a bad
It can
way.
make you do, it can make you do bad things. It can make you do good things.
See?
But do we ask the question why it is good and bad and the division of what I just stated of a cognitive dissonance, one going against the other?
There you go.
Duality, that is a versus, that's a duel, that's a fight, that's a war, an internal war.
But it's more than just an internal war.
Music brings
on the
up all
808
kind
beat.
of music brings up all kind of emotions in people. It can bring
That's
up
true.
bad things,
Right.
happy things,
Right.
sad things.
Which
It's kind of like when a husband and wife, when the wife finds out that the husband is cheating, she go puts on that music, throw his clothes on top of the car and burn it down. Boom.
And that's normal.
Hardcore right there.
That's
Oh yeah,
normal.
I
Look
gotta
at the
get
word.
motivated. It's just like when women clean the house, they gotta put music on to be able to clean the
be
house.
motivated. Right.
Ritual.
Right.
But
and
I
even-
threw something out at y'all and nobody caught what I
Turn the
told
car
you.
down.
Go ahead,
What
baby.
the-
Throw it again.
But what I told
It is
y'all was,
experiment, and I heard you.
I told y'all that it's not what you think it is. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it one more time, and I'm going to tell all young people, be careful, especially of our youth. Let's be careful because right now the medical field is at war, especially with the black woman. And that's all I'm going to say. And that's just due to the meetings that I've attended.
Okay.
Let's
Okay.
move on.
And
I
I can agree
agree
with that.
with
I
you.
can agree with that. And I'm gonna tell you why I'm agree with that. I can agree with that because when your enemy attack, they come from all angles.
That's
You know,
right.
so I definitely can understand that there's many different angles here. But I'm just trying to understand some stuff because one, it was like, okay, music touches the soul. Boom.
Uh-huh.
Two, there is an agenda. But three, there's not an agenda in this music. This music is not going to train our children to do things.
No, we never said that. We all said that there's an agenda. I've been
But
saying
now, if you really think about it, like the
that.
way you're thinking about it, then I guess if you listen to a certain type of music and realize you have AIDS, and then that brings you back to like, oh, this music is spurring up all kind of memories. I think I better go out there and spread this AIDS. So I guess if you really look at it like the way you look at it, music can be the culprit or the downfall for spreading the disease if you really look at it hard enough.
And how do you spread it in a negative way? You do it on the 808.
Mm-hmm.
You do it on the 808. The 808 is the lowest frequency. It literally is to put you in a low
So
frequency.
you start listening to that sad music about people dying, life not doing so good. So you say, well, this music is putting thoughts in my head. I
But
don't give
Greg,
a care. So I'm finna go out here and spread what I got to everybody else. Make people feel the way I feel.
yeah, but some of the music though, it's not sad music. Some of the music is it's some of it is like a upbeat. Most of it has an upbeat. It has a beat that will make you shakes your root chakra. But
So,
it's been
so,
recorded on
uh-huh,
the 808 frequency.
uh-huh. So now
But
after talking to you tonight, well, then would that really open up a lot of people's eyes that they really do need to put filters on the music for the kids
on the
that are
music,
coming up
yes,
now.
yes, yes.
Yes, they really do
Because
need
the
to
music,
filter the
even
music
though I've heard two people
because the
tonight
music
say,
can control your thoughts, your abilities, and everything else. And you can go to the deep ends with music sometimes.
because it's but today's music is done on a low frequency. So and then I heard two people say that they have Shopify. Well, every song that goes through Shopify, it comes out on the 808 frequency. It
So
comes out on
music
the
is
808.
deep, though. It
It
I,
is.
I, I
it
don't
really
know.
is.
I
It's
don't know
deep. It's
about
deep.
that because
It's deep. Music is
I have
deep.
not been. I've been on Spotify for the past 7 years, and it's just interesting because if it comes out on the 808 frequency, it hasn't affected me yet. So
We all don't get affected by the same things. This is how come they hit us up with different things. Everybody does not get the same effect. And the 808 could have affected you in a way that you just maybe haven't even realized yet. Maybe. Or maybe it didn't affect you. I'm not sure. But I do know about this 808, and I'm gonna play a video for you guys that Kanye West had to say about the 808 frequency.
Well, while you looking for the video, I'm gonna say that the programming is for the new generation. In your mind or heaven, you have to overcome. Just because we overcame this cycle does not mean that we will have to not overcome the next cycle, which will make it
Yes.
harder than the current one. So I mean, we're evolving as a generation, as a species,
You're right. You're
as
right.
a consciousness. So it's always gonna be an antagonist or an enemy that's gonna be in the story. What story is this without an opponent? Without something to overcome, then there's no story. When you watch a movie, at the end of the movie, once everything gets complete, that's the end. We never know what happens after that. That's why we're intrigued with the movies, why we watch the movies, because that is what we are in. A spiritual warfare
Yeah.
is there. But
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that I'm gonna stop you and prevent a little kid from not choosing its soul destiny or what it chose to overcome. That's unfair as hell. That's just me. It's unfair
Okay.
to me.
Okay. Do you feel like somebody did that?
I feel that all authority figures do that by trying to tell a soul that already made a contract on what it chose before it came into a physical body on what it wanted to experience. It causes a dis-ease or sickness.
Oh, she's talking about the disease thing. Okay.
All of it is related. All of it is related. Nothing is separate. Separation is sin. It's a division. And all the information and the knowledge that we acquire and obtain, we have to make that all fit together like a puzzle piece.
Okay. Okay.
That's what I
So we
believe.
speak.
And
We
that's what
speak
we've
it
been
into
doing up here. We
existence.
just been talking and putting these little pieces together in the puzzle and giving people bigger, just a bigger picture of what's going on. May
Yeah.
we agree or not agree?
No. I'm not disagreeing. I agree with all of y'all.
No.
To be honest, I'm just speaking because I know I speak aggressively because my throat chakra has been closed and shut down for so long. So I speak aggressively when I talk, but I'm not mad at none of y'all. I agree with all y'all.
No.
It's
baby.
not, it's not aggression. It's called
That anybody is
passion.
mad. What I'm saying though is, regardless if we are agreeing or not agreeing, we're still putting these puzzle pieces together, and we're getting bigger pictures. We're getting a bigger picture of what's actually going on. Is what I'm saying.
Yes.
Whether we agree or not, we still figuring out what's like. We're putting pieces of this puzzle together, and I like it. I love it. But
Yes, ma'am. Me too. Me too.
And Trinity is not aggression. It's called passion. Sometimes you speak
Ma'am
with
Diva, I know that within my soul is passion because I've been cut from the head, from the throat chakra. My head has been cut off. I just gained my head back, so I have so much I have to say, and it's so many. And I'm not gonna say women. I'm gonna say men that cut me off, that shut me down, that actively try to shut me down the same way my mom has. It's when I say furious or aggression, it comes from her doing that to me.
from being cut
Like,
off.
why would you allow that? And then I go to school and know that answer isn't correct. Do it my way. But I'm like, well, my way is the right way. We're saying the same shit, teacher. You know? And I feel that.
And you know what? Something else that I feel earlier, I'm not going to name names, but earlier it was just said that it's how it makes you feel or how it's being seen. And I think that correlates to the fact that certain songs have music videos, but also not all of them have music videos. So it will be seen or it will be felt in a different way by it being heard. And not every song is gonna be that song. Not every song is gonna make sense. Not every song what it's saying is gonna make sense. Like, for example, I don't like Not Like Us. Why? I didn't listen to it because one time I heard a snippet of it and it was the part that talked about, sorry, someone's passing by, how it outside. And so literally I don't like it because it literally said, whenever we only talk about Trump when it comes to politics. And when I heard that, that means to me, oh, you know what? I don't like that song.
I take a different view on that.
That's just an example. That's just one example.
Yeah. But
you
I'm
know what I
just
mean?
saying,
Not every
what you're
rap
saying.
song I'm gonna be saying that to. I don't like it. No, but certain ones, if it's something says that I don't like, then I'm not gonna listen to it. But I heard that part. I heard that song. I heard that part of that song one time. So you know what I mean?
Can I say something real quick?
I know what you mean.
Trinity just said, she said sin is in separation. And then it's crazy because and you have free will, you can do whatever you want to do. I don't judge, I don't care, like them or don't like them, but it's just it's almost like we fall for the okie doke when we allow someone to say like, oh, I'm gonna vote for Trump, oh, I'm gonna vote for Harris, and then for us to not be able to like each other anymore just because who you decided to vote for. And I just feel like that kind of, I don't know, it kind of makes things weird. It's almost like the baby mama situation. It's like because we have sex with the same man, we can't be friends anymore. You know what I mean? It's like it really, at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter who you vote for because they both come under the same umbrella.
Yes.
They both come under the exact same umbrella. So at the end of the day, y'all are voting for the same people. So it kind of just makes it weird for us to separate based on
When you say umbrella, I picture in my mind imagining the rainbow umbrella, like the fruit stands or like like the Mexican people will be selling fruit and like under that umbrella.
That's all under
I
the,
don't
the
mean
same
to cut
umbrella.
none of y'all off, but I need Kiwi, Eddie, and Diva. Y'all need to study energies. This is the foundation. This is the root. Everything built on top of energy or emotion is nothing but the spirit. It's just describing what is below. That is what a woman's purpose is. You do it every day. Even you, Kiwi, you read energies when you're on live.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you, girl, you ain't gotta tell me
Trinity,
nothing.
Oh, okay,
Like, you ain't
baby.
gotta tell me to learn energy because I know
Trinity,
about the energy.
I got you, baby.
Trinity,
That's
I'm from New Orleans, and we teach our children to feel energy.
about energy. Yeah.
And so
She
we
knows.
live within energies all day. I
Yeah.
find it interesting that when I go to other areas of the country, everybody has their different way of feeling the energies, even though they don't realize it. And people don't realize that they study energies without knowing. They do something without knowing that they're doing it.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just innate, but sometimes people become very how can I put it? I'm trying to find a word because I'm tired.
That's okay.
People come desensitized to the energies that they feel sometimes because they don't want to deal with those energies. They don't want to deal with what's going on because maybe they've been through so much trauma. And so that's why I look at it like that. Uh, Energies is how I deal when I do my line of work. Because of the people that I deal with, I got to feel the room to know how to deal with the CEO, or to deal with the mayor, or to deal with the governor of that state, or to deal with the stupid congressman that I have to talk to that enacts the law that he wants me to break because it's his friend. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
So while we're talking about energies, right?
mhm,
This video when we're talking about the 808, do y'all want me to play it?
yes.
Because he talks about the 808 frequency, which is in this new music, and he's gonna tell you about how it deals in how it interferes with your chakra. So I'm gonna play it for you.
The 808 exists in the lowest chakra of your body. The majority of content that's related to the 808 is killer or sexual content. The original 808s was even off pitch. So that meant it's an actual sound in the track that you don't realize is there that is fucking up your entire frequency. And now, today, every time I hear a car come out, it's 808. But if you think about African music and hip hop, when we was breakdance to, it was light. The percussion. It was upbeat. It was the drums. Now it's like, and all of this is a bigger, and it's like, man, you know, at this point, it's like they should have killed me when I said George Bush don't care about black people. I ain't got nothing to say. You know, they SNL making my wife say I divorced them on TV because they just wanted to get that bar off, and I ain't never even seen the papers. We ain't even divorced. So how we? Because that ain't no joke to me. My kids want their parents to stay together. I want.
Okay, there's another video where he talks about that a little bit more, but that right there just gives you a little bit of how you guys are talking about learning about energy, and also at the same time it's the music, and that's what I was saying, like they have music coming out literally interrupting our energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they sure do. But I also feel that we are alchemists.
Yes.
And so when you're
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
transmute anything that comes your way.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead with the alchemist, girl. I was listening.
Yes. And so that's the people don't realize that in life we are always alchemizing. We are always doing the alchemy because we're creating, we are destroying and recreating the whole time. And we create our world around us. That's why God said, and Jesus said that God is within you, because creation is within our minds and our hearts and our spirits.
And this is why I don't believe that the heart carries the beat and then the spirit speaks the word. The music is affecting the heart chakra, not the root. If anything, with a woman, they are connected because we have a womb. That's why we are a woman. We are connected to source energy. So even if, as this person said in the chat, they say, I realize it, I feel it, and I see it. I do it daily. But you have to study that. You have to put it into your mind, that 10% of consciousness of logic, and know how to alchemize it. Understand the words define the energy. The energy does not define the word. We put what we feel or the action into a
With
definition.
Aviva,
So you
I think you
the
said that. Yeah.
interrupting the heart chakra. That was very interesting. That's very interesting.
Study the body. It's important. It's very important. It tells you everything.
If you don't you don't activate the root chakra, your other chakras don't open. They don't open. And so it definitely does. It definitely does affect the heart chakra, but for some odd reason, I guess I never looked at it like that.
Because you're looking at it from a standpoint that you do not create a body within your body. You don't have to tell your body what to do to create another earth, another land. It does it automatically. You are already tapped in. You already passed that level.
No,
You are
talking about
outside of root
I'm talking
chakra.
about the music affecting the root chakra, but how you say, or maybe I misinterpreted what you said, but I assume that you said the music affects the heart chakra, and I'm like, it does. And I don't know, maybe I just misheard what you said, but I thought that's what you said. And so I was saying like, wow, the music really does affect the heart chakra because it is a low vibration, and if you do not correct the bottom, without the foundation, the house cannot be built. So you don't get to work your way up without building a really good foundation. And so what I was saying was, it never dawned on me, and what you're saying is correct, because if you don't fix it, like if you don't fix the foundation, you don't get to the heart chakra. And so I never thought about it. I never sat down and thought about it like, the music is actually affecting the heart chakra. It's affecting all of the chakras.
Think about it like this. How many times where you thought that you had no way, but a way was made? Whether you didn't know how you was going to pay your bills, how you was going to survive, how you was going to do anything within this life, but a way was made. And I know that from my personal experience. So I don't even need your confirmation, because you are me and I'm you. So I know as a woman, you are connected through the root chakra, the sacral chakra, and the solar plexus. If anything, the only thing you need or that could be affected is the heart, your throat, your pineal, your ability to see. Although you feel, whatever you feel, they tell you you crazy. I don't know why you saying that. Even if you don't have evidence, you feel it. You know that. You know what I'm saying, because I know you. When I text you and I said I know who you are, I know who you are. And I meant that from the bottom of my soul. And I know a lot of people who I interact with every day, even when I go on a job, I know who they are. But I can't say it because we have been in this world that told us that, oh, you crazy, you overthinking, you wrong, or you crazy, you delulu, you need to be in a psych ward. You know that.
Thank you, Eddie. We enjoyed you, honey. Thank you for your insight. And you're always welcome to come back.
Eddie. It was nice meeting you.
From a 22-year-old perspective, from the younger generation perspective. I appreciate that, just so you know. And don't think that I'm judging you, because I'm not here to judge you, honey. Okay? We still love you, just so you know. You're always welcome, all right? But I know you said you're going to stay in the comments, so, we'll keep you in our conversation.
I wish she would come back. I wish Eddie would come back, because I'm not getting on you, Greg, or Kiwi. I'm not getting on none of y'all, but she's speaking from her experience. Now, y'all say y'all done been through it. If anything, y'all have to go back in the past and grab that which y'all done been through and have to get that out the mud and relate her experience to our experience. And I love Eddie. I relate to Eddie And I know y'all didn't mean it like that. I ain't bashing y'all. I get both sides. I ain't even gonna lie. I get both of y'all. So I understand. But maybe that's why she left. And I wanted her to say more because she has a new insight. She's a newer soul, and she has newer things that can help us in evolving in a positive direction. And this is why they say they traffic kids, because they already know they're new. They're a new upgraded version of the source that created all of us. And they take them and do sick and twisted things to them and to us. And we should listen to those new souls. They have a lot.
Somebody in the comments earlier today, we was like, where where the children went, and why there's no more children. They're not building schools anymore, and I think that was Diva who said. I think that was you, Diva, who said they're not building schools because, not because of the funds, but because the children, there's a low birth count. And then somebody in the comments said CPS ate them all. And if you look and see, CPS loses like 300,000 children per year.
Yeah, they're talking about us, and they're talking about spiritual cannibalism, which is what they call wetiko, this mind virus that we are infected with either by our parents. If our parents do not do a good job, then the teacher will at school. If the teacher doesn't do it, then the kids will, because they parents have infected them with the wetiko virus of, it's a mind virus of greed, take, and not care about the person that I'm taking from. If you ever dated somebody and they suck the energy from you and you don't even know who the hell you are no more after that, that's wetiko. That's sucking your life force energy, sucking the source that is embedded within your womb.
And it's called what? Wetiko?
Wetiko. I'm gonna put in the chat. Hold on.
Our population is really decreasing
It is.
because men don't know how to treat a woman. They really don't. Men don't know how to treat a woman. And every time as a man I tell other men that, they tell me I'm dead wrong. They tell me I'm dead wrong. I said, it's in the Bible. It said you're supposed to treat a woman that's going to be your wife just like you treat God. If you're not going to lie to God, well, then you're not supposed to lie to your wife. If you're not supposed to cheat on God or commit a sin, then you're supposed to do that to your wife. You're supposed to treat them the same way you do God. And some men just don't, I put it this way, don't give a damn.
Yep.
They really just done gave up. And that's why you see a lot of women going with women. But because there's no good men out there. Men just don't care what they do to a woman, how they treat them, how they do that. Oh, I'm going to be good to God, but I'm going to come over here and smack you across the face because I called you on my lunch break at work and told you to have the pork chops ready when I get home from work.
I think it's due to the fact that the patriarchal society is starting to collapse, and that a lot of men are feeling that they no longer have control. Because you must realize that women were able to get checking accounts in 1970. We were not able to have our own finances without a husband.
I want to say something. Did anybody notice that a good woman is another word for a good slave? Did anybody notice that? Like when you ask a man what makes a good woman: cooking, cleaning, listening, being obedient, not going out the house, ironing his clothes, having his children, taking care of him, making sure. Did anybody else notice, or is it just me, that a good woman is equivalent to a good slave?
Yeah, and did everybody notice that a woman's life expectancy goes down when she gets married, and a man's life expectancy goes up? And I'm stating that because patriarchal society that has been put in place since the Romans, and also with the embedding of King James and the King James Bible to put more so of the patriarchs in place, that now it's starting to crumble. And I really think that is a cognitive dissonance because they are feeling some type of way because women are working and women are having a mindset to take care of themselves and choosing not to marry and choosing not to fall in the trap of marriage. Because in all actuality, marriage is not something that is advantageous all the time to women.
Yeah. Another reason why we're having a low birth rate though is because of the way children treat their parents. And a lot of people are like, I'm not doing that. I'm not going through it. Like, and it could be, you know, children are probably treating their parents away due to the way that the parents are treating the children. I don't know, but I do know that I have never seen such a large disrespectful bunch of children towards their parents. And a lot of children are just like, I don't want to have children. So
But
it's
if
not
they had a good father figure there to teach them how to do right and treat a woman like the way they're supposed to be treated, then everything would fall into place. Because according to the Bible, and I'm going to say this, it's God first, and then your wife next, and then yourself, and everything else is just an extra for you. Everything else is just an extra. And that's why this world is going to hell in a handbasket. And I have to say it because if they can't get right with God, they sure in the hell can't get right with their woman. They can't do it. They can't do it. It's just like my mama used to drive me around. Oh, church is out today, son. We finna find one that's open. And we'd be going to another church all the time. So I was always taught that by my mama to be good by a woman, treat them just like the way God says. And when you read that Bible, then that's the way it's supposed to be. It's God first and then your woman second.
Yeah.
And men just don't want to do that.
Why do you think?
Can I answer that?
Yes.
It's a cycle. And although Greg may be an awesome man, I'm not even going to attack just all men, but most men are spun outside of themselves. If you look at I don't mean to get sexual, but if you look at the penis, it's outside of itself.
It
The
is.
uterus is inside of the womb. We are connected. So what Greg is saying is correct. Is that you should treat your woman accordingly and treat her with the utmost respect because she is the closest to God. She is the closest to source. She is what makes and keeps this system going. So you look at China, they're not having kids anymore, or Japan, I don't know. But
And you know what's funny about that? That it didn't start in China. It didn't start over there. That movement, it didn't start there. That movement started around the world collectively. Like women here in America started shutting down, 3-4 years ago? There's some women that's like, oh, I haven't had sex in 2 years. Some women are like, I haven't had sex in 5 years. Like it's been shutting down. And the reason that energy came out like that is because of the dark night of the divine feminine. And then when we start talking about the dark night of the divine feminine, we're not talking about like, oh my gosh, she's crazy, or she's a killer or something like that. Not that type of dark night, but just the other side of it. And so the divine feminine, she took care of her husband, she took care of her children, she put everything before herself. And so the dark night of the divine feminine is when the divine feminine finally learns from the masculine how to treat him, how to move. And see, this whole time we thought that men were being selfish, but to a degree, they were just teaching us how to start loving ourselves. So if you're in a relationship and the relationship's not going good for you, just leave, because that's what the man has taught the divine feminine to do. So that's what she started doing. If you're not satisfied in a relationship, they literally start telling us these things out of their mouths and making videos. If you're not satisfied in a relationship, shut it down. If you can't find nobody on your level, stop fucking with them. And so we literally did take their advice and we started running with it. But now it's weird though that a lot of men seem to be upset with women because we took their advice.
you mean we took our power back?
But we did take their advice. They told us, they said, stop messing with bums. They told us that. They said, you met this man and you knew he didn't have no job. You knew he didn't have no money. So, they told us and we listened. We did. And now there's still a problem because we listen to them. Now we're not just running out here just meeting somebody and making a baby daddy. We're not just
A
gonna
lot of
pick.
the a lot of the young generation of women are not teaching the man how he's supposed to be. Because a man says, "Oh, my mama taught me how to cook and clean, make up my bed, do all this, so I don't need a woman no more
Need a
because
woman.
she's not showing me love and affection." And
And
there's
this
some
goes
men out there
back.
that will show the love and affection to the woman, but the woman just won't do it.
This
And you
goes
can
back
have
to
real good
what
men out there that know how to cook, clean, make up beds, change their own oil, and then wash their own clothes. So what
And
do they need a woman for?
why is
That's
women
not
having a hard
that's
time finding them in?
it's back to what Diva was saying about the alchemist, and she probably finna say it now. Go ahead,
That's
Diva.
right. At the end of the day, when you say that a man does not need a woman, every man either comes from a woman or has sex with a woman. Let's make that clear first off. Because you would not be here if you did not come through us.
You're right about that. You have hit the nail on the head.
And so it comes to a point, when will you respect us? And when will you respect yourself?
That's what I've been telling a lot of men. I've been saying the same thing.
And men are alchemizing, and they have created this environment.
Yeah, yeah. They taught the divine feminine how to treat him. He taught us how to treat him. He did. And even like there's so many women now that be cheating. So many women cheat. I remember when I talked to this guy and he was like, I didn't know that women cheated like this. But yeah, women be, and it's so many women now that step outside their marriage. It's so many women that just be doing what they want to do, and it's because they learned from the divine masculine. It's women now who got passwords on their phone. They didn't turn their location off. They're not sharing all this stuff with their men no more. They shut it down. Like you showed me how to move, so I'm gonna move and do exactly what you're
All
doing.
the man wants now is for a woman to cook and clean, and if they can't get that, then they don't need them.
Well, first off, sir, why I gotta cook and clean when I'm working too? Let's make that clear. If I'm working 8 hours and you working 8 hours, why I gotta cook and clean? Why can't we both cook and clean?
I know that's right. I know
At the
that's
end of the
right.
day, if I'm making my own money and I have my own house, what do I need a man for? So if we
I
gonna take
know.
that attitude, then we are never gonna solve anything.
Yeah.
Diva, you
Yeah,
need
things
them
are
to
gonna have to
access your
change.
heart chakra. You need men to access your heart chakra.
That's what I'm saying. We do. We need each other. But taking these attitudes will cause us not to create the beautiful world and environment and energy that we need to thrive. And a man and woman together, when men or women are in love, they alchemize beautifully.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they create abundance and authenticity
Yeah.
that is so beautiful, and it becomes a beautiful dance.
Yeah.
It's just like I look at the relationship like my mother and my father. My mother and father been together since my mom was 14 and my dad 15, and now she's 79 and he's 80. And people don't understand that love evolves and relationships are fine dances. And it comes to a point where it's a beautiful companionship. But people will never ever be able to alchemize that because of the selfishness.
Yeah.
The Mexico is the selfishness, the greed, the want, the need.
I got it right there. I pulled it up. Cannibalistic spirit.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It's spiritual. Spirits
Portrays
are
as
real.
giants, monsters. Speak to ordinary human beings, transformed by spiritual sickness, and then becomes dangerous to others in terrible ways.
And, and you see Repsico inside the workplace.
Oh, yes, ma'am. You see it everywhere.
The workplace is so horrible when people just want to go to work, do their job, and take care of them, get a paycheck and take care of their family. They gotta go home. They gotta go to work and deal with the BS of insecure, power hungry, controlling mofos that don't have any control of their life or their home life. And then they come to
interrupt Diva, but I agree with you. I work with the government itself, and I see that and I hate that. And I tell the truth regardless of what they tell me per book.
Yes.
I tell the truth.
I've had
Every
2
time.
jobs my entire life. And I started off being a hairstylist, but the older women that was around me, they was like, that's not a real job. So I went and got a job as and I worked in a dry cleaners. I got that check. The check wasn't enough. It was not nowhere near as much as I used to make doing hair. So I wound up picking up a second job. My second job was working at McDonald's. I want to say that I worked for 3 months, but I really don't even think I worked that long. And I quit working. When I worked at McDonald's, the manager there, she was like a year or two younger than me. But every time a cute dude came into McDonald's to my register, she would tell me to leave and go like sweep the floor or something. And she just would do like this weird shit that would make me uncomfortable. Just because, like, and I don't know, maybe she was just boy crazy. I think it was a lot of boy crazy stuff that was going on there. It was just a lot of stuff that would make me uncomfortable. And I stayed away. Once I quit those jobs, I stayed away from the workforce and I never went back.
Kiwi,
And I never went back.
but can I ask you a question? Kiwi,
Uh-huh.
what is the color of the heart chakra? What color is it?
Green.
What color is money?
Green.
Okay, so then therefore, have you ever seen two separate hearts, a real heart, sewn together to look like the fake hearts that we draw with one on one side and one on the other side?
Like human hearts?
A real actual heart that is beating in your chest right now.
Oh, no. No.
It looks like the hearts that we draw with the, one side up and then go down. That's what a real heart looks like. Those are two, yep, like that. Two hearts sewn together as one. That is money. That is life. That is power, not green paper. You know what I'm saying? They say the alien is on the back of the card. It's bypassing the heart, bypassing the throat, and going straight to the mind. So when you say handlers, Illuminati, listening to your supervisor, listening to what other people have to say in order for you to be perfect versus you doing what your heart is calling you to do, which is what Diva is saying, alchemizing that relationship. If that's what's in your heart, that is what's true to you. Nobody outside of you can tell you anything. If anything, they're going to be an agent bot and they're going to tell you the opposite of what you really want. And you're going to be in tears and pain and overthinking and thinking that you're going to keep chasing this money with nobody there. You'll get the big house. You'll get the cars, you'll get the clothes, and you will have nobody there. A home is different than a house. There you go. You understand? So she was just doing her mission as a bot to keep you in that frequency. And when you say CIA, that's technically not real. As I stated, I work in the government. CIA is Central Intelligence Agency.
Okay.
Central is endocrine system. Below is your kidneys. They're separated. They come back as one in your pineal gland in the middle of your head. You have to access that outside of the solar plexus, which means that's your heart. If you study your body, it's a diaphragm, almost like the firmament that is keeping access away from your heart. The men are easier to manipulate because their private areas hang outside of their bodies. They get circumcised for a reason, because that extra piece of skin is where you're supposed to be. So he has no direction in life.
You know what you just said though? Also, men don't love women anymore because a lot of them got circumcised.
Exactly.
And that nerve, it's a nerve in the end of their penis that makes them fall in love.
So
And
you
so
can't be circumcised at birth, though. You can be born that way.
you can get circumcised at birth too, but a lot of men are not falling in love with women because that extra feeling that we think that we're giving to them, they're not getting it because it's been cut off. It's
And
been
some
cut
men
off.
just don't know how to give it. They just purposely don't know how to give affection back. They really don't. They don't know how to listen. They
A
don't know what the
man,
feelings of a woman is
have
and
you
all
have you
that.
guys have you guys heard that a man that is not circumcised will fall in love with you faster than the man that's circumcised?
Yep. I
Yeah.
ain't heard it. I experienced it.
Uncircumcised men fall in love faster than circumcised men. They're that serious. You want a long lasting relationship? Go find a man that's not circumcised. He's more likely to fall in love with you. Dead ass serious.
I have experienced it. When I mean taking you out, buying you stuff, treating you like the queen that you are, because you are from source, as above, so below. You have a
And
womb. A man is wombless. He does not have a womb. He
yeah.
is not. He has no connection to source. He's just a body, and it's terrible. And I don't mean that I hate that for them. It's just the fact that I hate that it has been conditioned for you to follow another man and not your woman.
How
That's
she
what I hate.
said there's a piece on there that a woman is supposed to be hanging on to. That man that has not been circumcised, he still has that piece that a woman can hold on to. But men that have been circumcised, that piece that a woman holds on to that you're speaking of, it's been removed. It's been removed.
And then on top of that, created so much trauma as an infant. He cries and whines as his skin that is connected to source is being extracted from his body. So now he whines and moans and cries when you are in a relationship with him. And he wants you to be that piece of skin that was clipped when he was what, 2 days old.
Now, Trinity, do you know what they did with the piece that they clipped off?
I have no idea, but please tell me.
Okay, remember the show The Django? Or the movie Django? Not The Django, but Django. Okay, there's a part in that movie where what's his name? Leonardo DiCaprio, he's sitting down and on his desk it looked like he's probably eating some peanuts or something. He's eating dried out circumcised pieces because it gave him power.
That's right. That's why they ate a lot of the mummies. Most people don't know. Most of the Egyptian mummies,
Yeah, the delicacy that we were. Yeah,
they were eaten by the people in England.
yeah, and they still eating it right now today. They still eating it.
That's why you can't find so many, too many mummies in Egypt like they used to, because they went in and got most of them so that they can be. It was an elixir to keep them youthful and healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the
Diva.
same thing they did with when they did the picnics. And picnics, if you really understand what a picnic was, it was the beginning of a lynching. And they would barbecue and eat us.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
I believe the same thing, Diva. I agree with you 100%. I didn't look at it at that way, but I also agree that they did the same thing to a woman, but they can only get her in her penile, her in school, in her mind. They could never get her in her body, because I'm pretty sure Diva and Kiwi, y'all are rebellious to control.
Very.
Very rebellious to control. But a man is submissive to control. He's not submissive to divine energy, which is you.
And that's how come your man is supposed to be your goon. He's supposed to be your goon. He's just supposed to do your dirty work, and that's it.
Hello. And
That's
that is his fulfillment, because
that
he
is his-
is destruction. He
Yeah.
is destruction. He do destroy. And he
Yeah.
also
For you,
builds.
for you, for
He
me.
is Pluto. He is Pluto. Destruction and rebirth. We
Yeah.
give birth. He destroys and tears it down. But when you're doing it for an opposition and you don't know that opposition's intentions, his feelings, he's creating a bot of a war, a military, a army soldier. If you looked at you I like watching like kid shows. You ever watch SpongeBob? The Flying Dutchman. You ever
Yeah.
seen Leave the World Behind, the White Lion? Google the White Lion. Tell me what you get. You'll get the Dutchman's letter. It's a letter that basically says that the pirateers, which is the ones who have no emotion, they do not want to get in the water. And then you have the ones who can see. I don't know the name, but when you Google it, you'll see. It's the ones who is connected to source. They are supposed to guide the ones who are the pirateers. The pirateers are the war, the angry ones, the ones who can beat down a motherfucking box. Do you hear me? And they do it in real life because they beat our box down. Do you feel me? And they can also beat down a box in real life, but they beat down a box for something that does not want to get in the water. If you have seen that, it's like a viral thing. Always look at the virus, the viral, the things that are going viral. Just like, I'm telling you, baby, I've been studying for 2 years, baby. Shit makes sense when you in peace, when you in silence. Do you hear me? What's her name? Sonia Massey. Her death is a question.
Right, and I was talking about her earlier today, and it's interesting. Her last name is Mass, like they're trying to get to the masses.
Her death is a question to Black women.
It's more than a question. It's a message.
Oh, woo, baby. The message is the question. I dug into that for the past 2 days, and I get the question now. The question is to vote Democrat, maintain your spirit. I give you your throat chakra back.
Tell me why the first thing I opened my phone to was that, oh, breaking news that in Springfield, Illinois, so and so Massey is shot and killed inside her house by police.
I'm going to tell you why it is.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because it's a question. Do you want to vote one evil or the other evil? It's literally for melanated, Latino, what Rashad was saying, Black and melanated, even though he was saying Black and Latino, he was saying people of color. Why do you think they call us colored? The star people, the star seeds, the rainbow people, the people who have color. It's your question. It's assuming that you have been in silence, assuming that you have been connecting with your ancestors, assuming, like Kiwi said, I'm finna get out this live and I'm finna get to meditate. Assuming that you're connecting and speaking with them and trying to decode what is encrypted. That's why I told you, Kiwi, to look up Sean. Sean, which is her killer. Well, you have to use a certain app. You can't technically use Google.
Yeah, you
It's ridiculous. I don't like police.
or
I don't like police at all. I don't believe in police. There's no such thing. They don't do anything, literally, because why were they inside of her house? If supposedly there was a prowler, right? Supposedly the prowler got inside. The prowler is inside of the home. It's inside of the home. Then why did they not take her outside so that the police can search inside? They can go. No, they started wanting to talk inside of her house, and then that's when things escalated and she got shot.
I think with Sandra, something spiritual.
I understand when they first got to her house, she was like, "Oh no, something," and they were like, "What?"
I have two.
You called me. You called us.
I have two things that could have happened in that situation. One, it probably didn't happen. It probably didn't happen. Y'all call me crazy, whatever, but it probably did not happen. And it's funny that I just said it probably did not happen, as her comment comes up, says that I think it was staged. One. All right,
Yeah.
but then two, just if she really did that, which I really don't think she did, but if she did, is it a possibility that that person who she thought was an intruder was already the cop that was in there?
Kiwi, I get what you're saying 100%, but that part I don't understand, and I do understand it wholeheartedly, but at the same time, this is how they
Because
communicate.
didn't she call and say that there was an intruder in her house?
It was, but baby, this is how they get black people stuck. We
But what
are
I'm
the
saying, though, is,
investigate.
if she really did get shot, wouldn't it make sense that the intruder was the cop that shot her?
Baby, yes. Everything you
Wouldn't
think,
that make sense?
baby, I agree with you. But at the end of the day, it's still a message. As Diva said, it's a message. Okay, think about it. Think about it.
I'm not saying that it wasn't a message. What I'm saying though is, in a situation like that, like it seems like the most logical person that, it seems like he was already in her house. That's what it seems like to me. Like it seems like he was probably already in there stalking her or something.
I'm gonna put it to you this way. I really think that they are trying to incite us.
They are trying to what?
Incite us. Incite us. The
To go to war with the police. To go to war with the police.
No, what is insight? What is the word?
They want to incite us to fight, to riot.
What is the word insight?
They want to excite us.
Yeah, I'm a little confused with
Insight
that.
or insight?
What I'm saying is they're trying
heard
to
both.
excite us to the point of where we are trying to riot so that they can start a civil war,
Yeah,
bring out martial law to stop the election.
yeah, yeah. And if we
Diva,
start- if we
do me a
start fighting-
favor. Diva, do me a favor and look at the chat and tell me which one you're saying. Because it's phony
Excite.
Phoenician.
Excite us.
Which one in the chat? The first or the second one? Excite or insight?
Excite.
Okay.
Yes.
I really think they're trying to excite us to get us to the point where they're trying to. Everything that they have done thus far is like, I really feel that the Almighty have kept us in a very calm, and many of us are riding very high. And they cannot bring us down to that low vibration. They want us afraid. And when we're afraid, they can control. When we're afraid, we can't alchemize. We can't create. And I really think that they're trying to bring some type of they're trying to bring some type of end to this country.
They're trying to bring an end.
Yes. I really think they're trying to take this country down to a certain extent because the powers that be are trying to put other mechanisms that's in control of the people of this world, period.
Mhm.
And I really feel that if Kamala gets in office, and I'm really afraid of her. Something in my spirit has me afraid of her, and I don't know. I
Because
can't.
if she gets in office, a lot of, if she, who was that who signed that bill? Was it Bill Clinton who signed for us to start going to jail if we spit on the side of the road?
Mm-hmm.
That was him, right? Okay. And every now and again you'll see somebody who spit on the side of the road and had a attitude with a cop, so he went to jail. You know, just because the cop wanted to show him who's boss. But she's for real about to start putting people in fucking jail for spitting on the side of the road. She's going to do it. Like, she has a video where she's literally talking about putting money into schools is not it. You need to put your money into these prisons. You need to put your money into these jails.
And you saw what happened with the state of Louisiana, right? Because we were not going to jail as much as they expected. The private prison owners sued the state of Louisiana because we did not have enough people going to jail
In jail.
last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
And that was at the same time that they had us to they tricked us with the verbiage when everybody thought they was voting against that amendment that's in the Louisiana Constitution for slavery when you put people in jail.
Yep. Yeah.
And they told us that they were going to put it back on the election books because it was a mistake, because all walks of life were upset, because that meant anybody could go to jail and become a slave. The people are terrified of that, and they never placed it back on the books because that was by design. And I really
You
think
be
that
terrified of something that you're already in. It doesn't make sense energetically. It doesn't make sense.
but you got to understand that the people that were terrified were not us.
What do you mean by that?
I can't. I mean, they were not. They were Blanco.
Oh, so I'm saying, like, what do you mean by the current state? Like what we're in now, we are in a prison.
No, I'm talking about the current state of what's going on in the state of Louisiana. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about what's going on there. The fact that that was still placed on the record book where you could go to jail for a traffic ticket and you're enslaved.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it can happen to all walks of life, and the people are not comfortable.
And that goes to fixing your paperwork and getting on a do not detain list. That's about getting on a do not detain list. Because if that lady gets into fucking office, that is definitely something that you are gonna want to be on that do not detain list, because they will take you to jail for anything. There is this video that is on YouTube, and I don't fucking know the name of it. But it's about this boy, and he's on his way to work, so he's eating a banana, right? And then this drone comes up, and it's like, put these handcuffs on, you're under arrest. There's no police around, there's no humans around, there's nothing, it's just a drone. And it's like, if you don't put these handcuffs on, you will be under arrest, and da-da-da-da. He puts the handcuffs on, and then he literally follows the drone to the police station. He goes into the police station, there's nobody there, it's all done by a computer. They give him an outfit to wear, he puts the outfit on, and then they put him in this room. Now, they ask him if he wants to speak to a lawyer, and he don't know what's going on because he's not able to talk to a human. So he says yes, that he wants to talk to a lawyer. So they put him on the phone. While he's on the phone, he's waiting. It's like, I don't know how much fucking money per minute. He falls asleep, and he wakes up to them saying like, oh, you only have so many minutes left on your account. So he wound up literally spending all of his money trying to make a phone call to a lawyer to figure out what was going on. They had him making netted outfits for him to pay his way. So he had to make like little hats and dresses and stuff like that. And then when he finally got like enough money, like $7 or something like that, he was able to call his mom. The mom was able to get him a lawyer, whatever. They took all the money that the mom had gave him for a lawyer. The lawyer comes in and says, oh, we'll just plead guilty. And that's pretty much all the lawyer did. Took the boy's money just for him to plead guilty. Now, they was talking about giving him like 47 years or something like that if he said he was guilty. But if he's found guilty, he'll get like 70 or 80 years or something like that. And so he starts panicking. And then all of a sudden, it was the weirdest thing, because they come back and they tell him like, oh, you're free to go. And the reason that he was free to go is because the drone did face recognition on him, and they had wound up arresting the wrong guy.
Are we still talking about Sonia Massey? I'm sorry.
Oh no, girl, we had been talking about a bunch of stuff, but we keep going around and around in a circle. But we was talking. I don't even know what we was talking about. That made me
We're not going in a circle. You talking about Black Mirror, but look at the title. It's a Black Mirror.
Is it Black Mirror?
Mm-hmm. It is. It is what you're talking about. It's Black Mirror, but you're looking at the title. Black is where you create. Remember, it's chaos. It's only chaotic because you can't see in there. Just like the light, you can't see in the light either because it's blinding. So you'll create a image either in your head or in the blackness, in the darkness, in the body. So he's creating something in his head per that mirror of his shadows. He's only going to jail because that, I don't want to say that nigga because I really want to say that nigga, but he did some effed up, okay? And he the same thing with they clone Tyrone. Think about everything that you see of a creation is within that creator's mind. You're just entering someone else's mind. Just the same way you just spoke on Black Mirror. Your cat name is Shadow. Black is a shadow. It just hides things in the darkness. And you're saying that we can only speak upon our own aspect. We cannot speak upon someone else's. And I'm sorry, my cat and my dog is barking. Hold on. I mean, my cat is beating a dog. I got a cat and a dog. Hold on.
I don't know. I don't remember it being Black Mirror though, but maybe it was. If everybody's saying it was Black Mirror, then I guess it was Black Mirror.
But if we were talking about Sonia Massey, also I wasn't still live and they were talking about it, whatever, how the police went against protocol. Like that's what they believe. You know what I mean? Because they should have had her outside while they investigated. They looked for the prowler, quote unquote, inside of the home because allegedly that they could have got inside. So that's why they're gonna go inside and try to check, right? Without her. Her safety is outside. She's not gonna be inside with the prowler if he's inside, right? Anyway, but moral of the story, when we're talking about that, literally it doesn't make sense because you go against protocol. Like she called them and she said, oh please, like I think she said either like please don't arrest me or please don't like get me in trouble or something like that. They said, oh no, like why would we do that? You called us. So after that, they're not gonna arrest her. They're just gonna, you know what I mean? Like they're just gonna go against protocol. They went up against protocol. Like why would they keep her inside and then question her inside of the home?
Well, I'm gonna go back about them making an AI video of her throwing the fucking pot of hot water on the police. How do y'all feel about that?
But,
I don't know.
but this is what everybody missed, and I thought was interesting. That's why I say something spiritually was going on with her. The fact that she said that I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Right then and there, for her to say something like that, something to me spiritually was going on. I don't, and I feel something spiritually going on. And she said, in the name of Jesus, I rebuke you. And he was like, rebuke me. And it was like he got angry when he said, and go look at that video. He said that. And he told her, put the pot down because she had the water in her hand. I'm going to shoot you in the face. And then he shot her 3 times, supposedly in the face.
But Diva, I feel like this is just a message.
Yes.
He came in there with an intention.
Yes,
Per
yes.
someone else's attention. It got broadcasted for a reason. A lot of things happen every single day. When I say viral, I really mean virus. So we get lost into what happened in the picture. You know, these details, because honestly, I ain't gonna knock my black people, but y'all can detail a thing like a thing. You hear me? Y'all are as spiritual investigators. And I commend that. But at the same time, the message and the state of where we're in, we're not in power. We are
Been in power.
It's funny that you said that what she said was, I rebuke you, right? You said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. And when you put her name into the gematria right here, the first thing that comes up is 666. And when I was talking about the 666, you can take that 666 as, it could go for one or the other. One, it could be talking about your melanin.
That's
or
right.
2, it could be talking about the devil, right? So that one. But I want to put in there, I rebuke
level to the heart, your emotions is what they're saying.
And I feel like melanated God. If he felt something wasn't right.
I agree though, like literally, and then there was in a panel where I heard that, like in a live, everyone was male, at least look male on their account profile picture, and then there was one female, and she said that, and I agreed with that it was against protocol.
Yeah, I agree that's the script to go against a book, to go against policy or law.
Mm-hmm.
We agree with morality.
Do y'all know
belief.
about the 7 seals?
Yes.
What are the
Yeah,
7 seals?
that's alien. That's pineal. That's the highest point. Nobody has reached that yet because we have to access the heart. And if anyone has reached pineal, they have either reached the pineal as a prison or they reached the pineal as a light source of connection, which you connect to the crown. It's
So you
two
got the
stages
7
of pineal.
seals. Let's see. So it says the first seal is the white horse. The second seal is the red horse. The third seal is the black horse. The fourth seal is the pale horse. The fifth seal is the souls crying out from under the altar. The sixth seal is earthquake, sun, moon, stars, which will fall. The seventh seal is silence in heaven. Now, mind you, this is the code that goes back to I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. So that's what we got. It came
I
up with
do understand that it's two different ones. Just the same thing Greg said. It is a good and a bad and everything. They will only focus our attention on the bad. Google
Right, I
will
get
only
that, I
focus
get
your
that, but
attention.
I'm talking about these codes on this in this gematria code thing. That's what comes up.
Yeah, but that's
And
what they're
so-
gonna give you.
When I get certain numbers and stuff, we put it into the code. It adds up to a number, and these numbers tell you other things, right? And so it's saying that I rebuked you with by the name of Jesus. It says sealed with 7 seals, right? So how Diva says it has something. It definitely has something to do with some type of warfare. And it also says African females toes touching and bending forward.
Can I tell you something? Since I work for the government, and I feel horrible saying that, but I dissected that eagle. I dissected the code. I dissected the symbols that they put in front of our face with the codes and the pictures. The seal is, look at it like the matrix, like codes of your mind. It's almost like a computer going into safe mode. It's a virus on the computer. It's shut down and you can't get the real frame.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay, hold on. It says, he hating his own wife. So maybe he had problems at home with his wife, which is how come he was probably so aggressive in there with her. This is if it's real. I don't know. These are just little codes that just correlate with the story. That's it. I don't really know how to use these codes, and I'm just telling y'all what I see on the computer. Heal all trauma in the heart and the psyche of humanity. Never shake a baby. I believe Jesus died from us, and this is all related to I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. It was you from the beginning. So while she's sitting here and saying, Diva, you want to know what the message was that was sent? The message here to Black women, I think, is what I just said. It was you from the beginning. All killing. John F. Kennedy Jr.
We kill our kids spiritually.
Womb of worms. Just at womb of worms, just as she say, we kill our children spiritually. What if you missed the headlines? According to you,
I'm just curious, who asked, oh, isn't it like calling out the fact that it's possible that her last name is to call out to the masses? Like her name is Masses. I thought that
a message to the masses. That's what it is. But her name is Wisdom. Per Greek is wisdom. Sophia. Sophia is the earth. It's the body. It's telling you in your body on what it is. That's how the child can aid you in your mind. If you have kids, listen to them. They're telling the truth. They're
another one that
telling
comes up says, the only one that can save Earth. I love you with all my heart. Open all my remains. I'm thankful for my blessings, and it's written in the stars. Diva, I think you was right when you said that they were trying to send a message. I really do, and especially to Black women, like you said.
Yeah, our stars are our uterus that holds the eggs. as above, so below. The stars that are in the sky are the same stars that are in our uterus.
And I'm not going to say that we kill all our children because a lot of us speak life into our children. And a lot of us speak life into other people's children.
Until other children. Yep, you better say that again. Thank you, thank you, Diva, for catching that, because I did it.
Well, I'm sorry if I said all, but it's majority because of the placement of the planet, which is Saturn, which is limitation, which is you can only do what I say. But I know it's by no means all people, but it's the majority because of what we are programmed to.
I'm with melanated God.
Can you repeat that for me?
I'm with melanated God. I believe that the black woman is under attack
Oh, yes, ma'am.
because
Okay.
because we are so fertile, because we are reproducing, because of the fact that in the medical field, the medical field is like the police is to black men to black women,
Yeah, it is.
and because of the fact that certain races are not producing children, and we are constantly producing children, they look at that and they don't want us here. Everything they do,
I
we are
watched
always
this video right now because I was like investigating what they were saying when they first got to her house outside, and they said, you called us. It looks staged. After, you said that, I watched it. It looks staged. It does actually.
What do you mean it looks staged, girl?
Yeah, like it's not just because Diva said it, but or whoever, I think Trinity may have said it, but it does. It looks staged. It looks like they staged it.
I said I don't believe it. I just don't believe that it was real.
At first it looks so real, you know what I mean? But it looks staged, like because of the video and how they're talking, like I don't know, it just looks staged. Like it just looks like it was like purposefully, like I'm filming it and look the body cam photo, because the body cam video, sorry, like who's gonna know about that? Her family, like to be like, no, we're gonna get the body cam, or who, what, one of the other officers, like one of the other colleagues to that officer that they're investigating, because that officer dealt with that situation, that case when they first got to her house, and that call that they received from her. So then she's getting, that officer and that, that specific officer, the white guy, whatever, then they're gonna look into him, and they're gonna look into the video because he's the one who shot her, I guess, whatever, but I don't know, it just does to me.
body
Maybe I
cam
could be
is
wrong.
public record. Body cam is public record, and people can request.
And then also they don't have those spirits anymore. By them doing whatever they did with CERN, we're gonna use CERN. But even though I don't believe that that's true, it's just the fact that it's a transition of cycles. So they're using that to make it seem like they can invoke an emotion within a black woman in order to go out and vote for democracy. But either one is both wrong. The vote for either one is wrong. But
Melanated God, her comment says they made us think it's been the man. In reality, it's been the black woman under attack, and it has been. This how come we leave you vulnerable. We are the only women that do not have men like
Protect us.
there to take care of us. And some black men can come in and say, "Oh, we've X, Y, and Z." That's how come they were able to put us in positions that they put us in the first place, because we didn't have a nation built for us by our men.
And not only that, we have to be in our masculine energy also, because when they desegregated everything, it opened up the door for black men, and they saw that a whole new world was open to them, and they started leaving their families. So when that started happening, it left a lot of families in the ghetto. That put the woman in survival mode. And then she had to work from her masculine energy in survival mode to make sure that her family was okay. And so I find it quite interesting when women of other races say that we are so masculine and we don't know how to be feminine. Yes, we know how to be feminine. However, we are in survival mode. We have to take care of our homes.
Girl,
We have
you know
to
what's
take care of
funny? You
ourselves.
know why all these other women can kiss my ass when they talk about us not being feminine? And
That's
I'm gonna
right.
tell you the
And then
truth
they
right
look
now.
like women look like
Why
that.
they can kiss Kiwi's whole ass, okay? Is because for us to be so feminine, you sure trying to be us.
There you go. There you go. And I just
For the most masculine woman in the world, the black woman, for the most masculine woman in the world, you sure want to be us.
I just find that
You want
interesting.
these masculine lips. You want this masculine nose, these high cheekbones. You want the attitude. You want the booty. You want the sway. You want the dish. You want it for me to be so
It goes
masculine.
back to what
So
I said earlier. Every other
clearly can't
race
be that
wants
masculine.
every other race wants everything that black people have. They want it. Whatever a black person invents, then they want to get it and perfect it.
Now, did y'all know that there is a energy that the black man and the black woman create
That's
that can
right.
melt gold?
That's right.
That can melt gold. No, you put a black man with any other woman, he's not gonna melt that gold. And the same thing with a black woman. And then you can take any other race and put them together, they're not gonna be able to melt that gold. Now it's funny to me because now you got all of these people coming out to my, oh, we want these black men over here and we want these black men over here. It's like they trying real hard to break up the black family. But I don't know if y'all noticed this, but I'm gonna tell y'all something. That German girl, she came out and she did something a little bit weird because I've never seen so many black men videos taken up for black women.
It triggered it.
How
also-
is it that her death is not a stage, but that German lady is not a stage?
Oh no, she's a stage too.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm
So
gonna
how
tell
do
you,
we alchemize that?
Who said she wasn't? Is what I want. Who said she wasn't a stage? Because I've been said that it was staged.
I only said that because
No, how could it be? How could it be? You know what I mean?
How could it be? How could it be staged? First off, look at how the TV portrays the German woman.
Oh.
Let's be for. How does the TV portray a German woman? She got messed up teeth. She got funky breath. She's very masculine.
There
She's
you go.
strong. She talk like this.
I thought that was Russia, but she said it.
Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? But for some odd reason, out of all of these other European women, German women have been labeled
masculine.
the most masculine. So how's she gonna come out with her extra German masculine self and come out and talk about other masculine people? But then the part that put the cake on top of the cookie for me was when the bitch came out and said, "I paid for everything. I paid for him to do bitch." You are still being a masculine, taking full care of this man who may or may not like you, and he in jail right now, so he may or may not be laid up with a man.
that part right there.
I agree with her. This last comment where it says a TikTok video went viral. A white woman admitted that they wanted to keep them as their legacy going because they're finna get incinerated. They're finna get incinerated by this damn son. At the end of the day, that is what is true. Whether you want to say the son internally or the son externally, they need those black penises, and I'm gonna say what it is, in order to keep their legacy going. The same way we have been raped in slavery to mix in that whiteness within us to keep it going. Now, is that a problem? Is that a bad thing? No, I don't. I don't believe that. But at the same time, it causes an internal war. As I stated, it causes an internal war that we cannot get the full download on the message. And this is why I keep saying, how do we alchemize it? We keep getting lost into detail. And that is so irrelevant. The message is there. If someone sends a message and it's clear as day, why am I trying to decode it? It is what it is. And what are we going to do about it?
If somebody send a message, you have to decode it so you can know what the message is.
Well, I decoded it, and it's a question. It's not a message.
So you don't think there was a message involved here?
So the message may have been formed in a question.
Exactly. Thank you, Greg. Thank you. It is because it is the internal, which Greg, more than likely, he operates on the external because of your penis. I'm sorry. It hangs out down
Oh
below.
Lord, give that
It's
man.
just like people answer a question with a question. You can't do that.
Yes.
If you ever
Yes.
watch Jeopardy, they answer the question with a question on
You still
Jeopardy.
have to dissect it. It's still a message. You still have to dissect it, though.
Lost on Jeopardy.
You have to know what people are talking about when they're talking to
Say
you,
what he
right?
was talking about doesn't mean to be decoded.
They're asking you a question that needs to be decoded. Once you decode what the fuck it really is, you'll realize it's a question. To black melanated women, do you want Democrat or do you want Republic? That is the
I'm
question.
confused. Why do you feel like that was the question? What led you to that? That's the question.
I can't. What you should be operating off of, which is energy, colors, numbers, and symbols. They took what you supposed to know and gave you some bullshit.
But
And
how do you know that the question to the black women is pick Democrat or Republic? How do you know
Pick the red pill or the blue pill. Which one?
thank you, Diva.
So,
It
but
tells
where?
you in movies. Kiwi. What is crazy is that I started following you because of Transformers. When you were talking about Decepticons and Transformers, I knew what you meant. Although people are like, well, it's just a movie. I knew what you meant because the truth is in everything. The truth is everywhere. It's in front of
Me
your
too. I got it
face.
quickly. I got it right away, and I liked the video right when I popped up.
Exactly. Me too.
When I
So,
swipe it, and
so the
then
reason
I
why they
forgot about
have
it
an
though.
answer formed as a question is so it can keep going on for long periods of time. It'd be a
Hello.
question and a question and a question and a question, so it can never really be answered. It can never really be answered because it's a question for the answer all the time. It can never be fully answered. They don't want you to have the answer. And that's probably a white man's doing that. Because he wants you to keep it going on for periods of time so you can just keep figuring on that one thing instead of moving on to something else.
Interesting. I wonder if that message was for me to move on because I'm really wondering how did she see that in that instance. I'm wondering where did she come up with the question is public Republic or Democrat? That's what I want to know. Like what part
The
in that
only way that I
scene?
can answer that, Kiwi, is that you will have to go inward to find that for yourself. The foundation is the truth, but your soul is your personality. So maybe this thing will speak to you, or I call it source, or Sophia, like Sonya that died. Maybe it will speak to you via what Transformers, because that's how I found you. Maybe that's how. Even though nobody else, you ain't gonna get no validation from the outside. So if I tell you, girl, this is 2 years worth of research.
Who would ever come up with that? I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. And I've heard you say something, like that, but then you stopped yourself. So I said, I'm glad that she made this new video. She actually said it because it made sense to me
Yes.
then, but now it also makes sense to me. But now it's complete. You know what I mean? Like now it's actually complete.
Right now.
Because
Yeah,
I've never watched the
sometimes
Transformers
questions
movie,
answer
but I've heard
themselves.
those
And
terms before that they
sometimes you
use
have
in the
answers for
movie
questions,
to talk
and
about the characters
sometimes they
and all
just want them
the
to keep
graphics.
rolling on and on and on. That's why a question
I
has a
just want to know
question.
I'm like,
what part of
dang,
the
wow.
video said that the message, because like Diva said, there was a message there for black women. When I go in and we start looking at the codes, the gematria codes and stuff, and I look and we see her name means wisdom, and it's talking about black women, and it's talking about 666. It's just like a lot of these spiritual meanings and quotes that come through the codes. So I
All I'm gonna say is, look at your views when we started talking about the truth.
Are we
If
talking
I,
about two different things? I think we talked about two different things.
we talking
That's
about
what
the
I
same
think.
thing, baby. We talking about the same thing, baby. At the end of the day, all this stuff is like I said. It is different words, multitude. If you read the Bible, it tells you within the first 3 pages. I'm finna confuse the fuck out of your language. Not that you speak English and Spanish. It's just the fact that your heart says one thing and mine says another. That's all that it is. I'ma talk to you per your heart, and your heart gonna teach you per
Alex,
transformers.
Alex, because I'm really confused. Because me personally, like if I said like, oh well, in this video, and I'm not trying to bash or anything, Trinity. I'm not trying to bash. I'm just hoping that we can have open dialogue and just be open and honest without a problem, because I don't want it to be a problem. But I am genuinely confused, and I feel like if I explain something to somebody about what I think the situation is, I could tell them why I think, versus saying, oh, well, go to another one of your videos or looking up. Like, I feel like I could tell you, like how I said for Diva, I do believe that there are messages and I have proof of my belief system because it's here in the gematria codes, right? So I kind of put those together to get that message. But I'm confused where you got him shooting her means black woman. Are you gonna vote Republic or Democrat? Like,
It's the same way that you can say none or pale people pick their husbands and how they're easily married and we're not. I can't go into my mind. My mind is confusing to you because you have your own mind. Because that's why it's mind. It's mine, not yours. So
and
it
that's why when
always
we
will be.
communicate and converse, we open up and we
Okay,
talk.
so
and
you want me to
explain.
tell you it's the colors. Our chromosomes is XX. You got XX, I got XX as far as the chromosome. The first XX, all men and women have the original XX. That's purple, that's red and blue. You have a Y. You have another XX. You know what decision you want to make. I can't influence your decision. You do whatever the hell you want to do. I don't care. But the thing is, you have to pick one or the third option because remember, it's a trinity. It is three. You got 1, 2, and you got 3. The third one is yourself. The third one is yourself. But also understand that once you are picking self, you have to pick another one to make that purple on the outside. So, say for instance, a woman is red or blue. You still have to have that other counterpartner. That means you have to have that man. Why do you think they was pushing narcissistic personality disorder so hard? Because your man is so difficult. He will always be different than you.
I think what Greg said. I think what Greg said had a lot to do with what I'm asking you when he said some questions just keep going around and around and around, and sometimes you just gotta let it go. So we just gonna let them go. I don't understand.
That's what I'm saying. This is why I said my mind is mine.
Right. So that's why I said we'll just move on to the next subject because I don't understand. Yeah, because I don't get it. And like Greg said, it could be an ongoing process, a question that you're just gonna have to keep giving into. So you might as well learn how to give up.
A lot of questions has multiple answers,
Right.
and that's all it is. It's a multiple answer test. It's just like when you take a multiple. I mean, it's just like when you take a test and it be multiple answers, and then it says all the above. Well, that's the way that is. Well, that's why it's a question with a question, because it's all of the above. It's all of what all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us are talking about with.
Yeah.
So it's all of our answers.
And so, Divine Diva, are you still here?
I'm here. I personally feel that it was something spiritual.
Okay. Now, can you tell me why you felt that way?
When for her to call them because
Okay.
she felt uneasy about something. She thought something was in her house, and that's why they came out there. So for her to say, "I'm gonna rebuke you in the name of Jesus," you're thinking something spiritually was going on with her. And that whatever it was rearing its ugly head right in front of her, but it was in front of him.
Yeah, she doesn't live with her dad. She's
Yeah.
calling these officers, and I think, it wouldn't be a black male going inside trying to get inside, her house, and she's aware of this, right? I think it was more so a white male that was trying to get inside of her house, because a black male, he knows what a black female is capable of. So I'm not gonna mess with her, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not. So I think it would be a white male trying to, harass her or something. And then when that happened, she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna call." You know what I mean? The police or what have you, because again, she lives by herself. She don't live with her dad. And whatever.
No children.
I don't think there were
She
children.
has, she
In the home?
has children. And it wasn't at the house, but she does have children. What I am stating is I'm not talking about anything on the physical plane, period.
Right.
Speaking in reference to something spiritually was going on.
Right.
For her to say, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
Right.
Out of the blue for no reason.
Do you
And for her to
think
have,
she was? Do you think? Okay. So you know that they have officially made the Oh shit! You scared me. Oh my god! You scared the shit out of me. He scared the shit out of me. I don't even know what the fuck I was talking about. What was he talking about? Oh my god!
the spiritual, something spiritual was going on in there.
Yes.
And I really think it's something spiritual for her to
Okay.
say that and to say that in front of him out of the blue for no
That's what I was
reason.
gonna say. Do you think? Okay, because they actually did make the fucking invisible clothes. They made that. If this is real, do you think the CIA or the FBI or whatever, do y'all think they was fucking with this woman? Because she called them and said something that there was an intruder.
It's possible that, no one knew about it. There really was a prowler, but why would they go inside of her home to ask questions? They need to go investigate, check to see everything's okay. The prowler didn't actually get inside while she's outside. Her safety, she's in the car and the police in the back of police car or something outside of her home. She's outside. You know what I mean?
Do you think so?
But they question her inside.
First off, I don't believe the story. I need everybody to understand I don't believe the story. I'm just playing along with it, right? But do you think she was maybe having like some type of psychotic break? Maybe?
It could have been a psychotic break or a spiritual attack. It could have
Because
been
again, and that's how come I was talking about the invisible cloaks. Like, do you think somebody was really in her house? Or do you really think, like, on a spiritual note, like when she looked at him, maybe his face changed?
I think something spiritual.
Spiritual cloak. That's what it was.
And I'm also going to tell you that sometimes when people have mental illness is not mental illness, but it is torment by spiritual beings.
Dang, that's crazy.
And that's fact. And I really think for her to say, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, she saw something that she have been fighting.
Yeah, she may have been having a mental illness, or she may have been having an affair with somebody, and then something may have happened, and she may have just called the person she was having an affair with the prowler. Get out the window. I think somebody's
That's
listening.
a fair thing, because if it was a fair, why he was not there?
But she lives by herself. She has kids. She's not going to be able to defend herself by the prowler. So why are they questioning inside of her house and not having her outside of her house while they check inside? Just everything is clear, the police.
I get you now, Eddie. I get you now, Eddie. I get it.
And then,
I get it.
when she sees this prowler, whoever, I don't think it's a black guy.
Door, and they should have been like, "Hey, come
Officers are
here."
clearly white. They're gonna be like,
I
what's
said that.
going
Look at what
on?
Warrior Soulful said. She said the police was the problem. I
When
said
things
that.
escalated, boom.
I said that. I said, what if the person who she thought was in her house spying on her was the cop who shot her?
I think
And one good way to find out who was the prowler was to dust for fingerprints. Nobody did that. The police didn't have gloves on, so he had to touch something in that house to enter into it. So they should have tested for fingerprints. They should have dusted for fingerprints.
Did she really ask them what they was looking for?
I think it's finished food right now.
Yes, I'm eating. As soon as I'm done with this, I'm eating.
Okay.
DJ, I just remember her getting up to go turn her food off so it wouldn't burn.
Long time ago.
No, I bought those blues.
Well, he told her
I just hope
to.
that officer that shot her really, goes to prison or something. They really get him. They get
Well,
him.
he's being charged with 3 counts. I don't know why they say 3 counts.
But did she really ask him what they was in her house looking for? Did she really say that?
I didn't see that. I don't remember
Because she
that.
was in fear. That's why she got up and got the pot because she was in fear. Once you're in fear, your emotions means I can guide you energetically. I can guide your body to do whatever the hell I want you to do.
I got chills when they showed that video, and the specific part when I got chills is the part when he goes, "Me?" Like he had this anger. He was like, "Me? Like
Yeah,
you're gonna
because she
rebuke
she was
me?"
looking at him and
I
she
I
said,
I in like that energy entered into me. I felt it. I got chills. I was like, "What the?"
but that's what I was stating. That's
I
why I
felt
said
what
it
he
was
was like, his
spiritual.
anger.
That's why I said it was spiritual because she
He called
looked
out
at
that demon.
him and
He called
said,
out that demon.
I rebuke you in the
Hey,
name of Jesus.
escalation and
And
boom.
he said, you rebuke me in the name of Jesus, in the name of Jesus, I'll shoot you in your face.
Mm-hmm.
So was she under
The
a
demon
was
is
she
called
Did
under
you see the
rejection.
video?
you,
Like
you
that's
might be right, Divine
crazy.
Diva. She could have been under a spiritual attack. Now I didn't I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I haven't watched the video. I just been listening to what other people been saying. I didn't watch the video. I have not seen it. But it sounds like Diva might be onto something. It might be a spiritual fucking attack. But you want to
But
know
if
something?
anybody came through the window or
Greg
the
might not
door,
be
it
too
had to
far
be
away either.
fingerprints. It had to
Greg
be
not far
fingerprints somewhere.
because spiritual attacks usually come through sex. What if her and that man who shot her had some type of affair? I don't know.
That's a
Spiritual
root.
attacks don't always come through sex, though.
No, that's a root energy. The nut goes inside of your womb. But when you're saying that and Kiwi is saying that she agreed, you're in agreement because you want to know why. So why did he ask her that?
Who asked who what, baby?
Why did he ask her, what are you doing? Or whatever the case she was doing after he told her to go and get the water off the pot, off the stove, whatever. And then he was like, well, what are you doing?
I remember I
didn't hear
didn't
that
watch the video. I didn't watch the video. I'm just picking off what you guys are telling me.
It's
You
cute.
didn't watch the video?
Uh-uh.
I'm just saying that I watched the video and it was a spiritual attack.
That's how come when she said that they was asking, Republic or Democrat, that's why I was like, well, what did you see? That
Well,
told you
I'm
that?
not lost in the details of the video. I mean, I get where you all are coming from, but that's not what I'm caught up in. I get it because technically she didn't die. She just went back with her soul. Her soul is what she is.
Yeah,
So she didn't die.
I
She
never,
just lost her
I
earth.
never heard him say. I never heard him say, "What are you doing?" He just told her, go get your stuff because she said about the food burning.
Well, he asked her, well, she asked him, well, why are you back and back? Because remember, he started back and back. And she was like, why y'all back and back? He was like, I don't know, you got hot water.
Yeah,
But you
that he
told
did
me
say
to
that.
get the hot water off the stove, sir.
Which is what she said. It's a spiritual, something spiritual here.
So
Somebody
they
So
told
when you say
her
spiritual,
dad three
spiritual is
different
what
stories,
is
and he
being
got three different
spoken.
charges. That evens itself out. All right. I mean, hello.
Yeah, she needs to watch the video. The melanated
I'm
guy.
looking.
Kiwi, watch the video. Please watch the video. Please watch it.
I'm looking.
But I'm gonna have to say good night to y'all.
I'm not gonna be on long either because she's fixing my plate. I'm about to eat a big fat ass burrito.
I enjoyed speaking with all of you.
I did too. We have to do this more often.
It was an honor to just conversate with all of you.
Okay, and then when I come back on and I see you, Diva, I'll tell you what I feel from the video.
Yeah, hopefully I can catch you. I got a lot going on over here in Cali.
Okay.
I'm just ready to get out of LA. I hate LA. I'm sorry, and I don't offend anyone from LA, but the traffic's crazy.
The deputies searched the property and found no intruder. The deputies then asked Massey to check on a pot of boiling water on the stove.
Oh my god.
I mean, he really deserves to go to prison at least.
You will get it, but that's headshot.
She already did.
Yeah, he shot in the head 3 times.
Dude, I'm not taking fucking boiling water on the head. Hey, look, it came right to our feet, too.
Grayson has been indicted on 3 counts of first-degree murder and a count each of aggravated.
D was right.
It was spiritual, I told you.
I heard the boom, 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 like when I saw the video. I heard it. I saw it. And yeah, the boom, boom, boom too. It's crazy.
Weird though, and again, I still feel like it's staged. I just feel like it's just to take our energy, just been talking regular. But
It's a distraction also. Something else is going on that they don't want us to pay attention
that
to.
part. But we're gonna give it some. I'm gonna entertain it. You know, I'm gonna entertain it. But why did it appear that they were joking?
That's why I was like,
Even when she said, "I rebuke you," it's like they were joking. It seemed like they were just genuinely conversation.
and that's why I was so shocked when he shot her. I was like, what, the chicken? You know, like, why?
Because she said
Life like that.
she jokingly not execute. What is it? What is it? Exorcism. She jokingly exercised his ass.
She did. And he felt it. It was spiritual.
At the end of the video, he was like, "This bitch tried to pour water on me," and he went and sat in the police car and just sat there for like a long time. He didn't want to care.
Yep. He didn't. She called his demon out. She was like, "Come here, the demon."
You know, let me tell you how demons work. Demons love people who can't say no. Demons love a motherfucker that can't say no. You want to go get into this kind of stuff? You want to do this to this person? Like, demons love people who can't say no. After you say so many yeses, the demon is able to take over of your body. Okay? After so many yeses, after so many times of you agreeing to do demonic, low vibrational shit with a demon, he eventually can take control of your body. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, once he takes control of your body, he's going to do all of the fun stuff. You're going to get in trouble, and then he'll leave, and you'll be the one left in
Stuck with the
jail.
bag. Yeah.
He'll enter your body and have you do some drinking, and then do a drunk driving, and then you wake up in the goddamn fucking jailhouse. And you don't even remember the night. And I feel like that could have been with him. It's like I feel like he got an exorcism. And she didn't even know. I don't even think she knew.
She didn't realize it, yeah. Because you saw how he said it. You rebuked me in the name. He was like pissed.
But why was she in that white gown like that? She already looked like an angel.
It was just the whole situation. If it was real,
That's them colors.
it was horrible.
We operate off colors. Every colors tell you everything. We are the rainbow.
I'm not gonna be able to go to sleep.
So she was in her purest form.
At 333.
Interesting. Well, I think that was. I think
I think she knew it was coming too, Alex. Me too. I think so. I think she was disturbed. That's why she was so disturbed.
Is it a longer video somewhere that I didn't see?
No, they was talking about. It had a video where they was talking about that she had been she was uneasy. She was uneasy for quite a while before this. A couple of days before this
Really shocked by what
situation happened.
call she made. Massey called 911 because she thought an intruder was in her home, according to the lawyer representing her family. Sangamon County Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson and another deputy responded to the call around 12:50 a.m.
Okay, so he's outside the house. and he's literally telling her that they searched the house and they searched the perimeter and they even went down the block and they didn't see anybody. So how did he wind up back inside her house to shoot her?
Because of what you said. She couldn't say no. He asked her a question.
He would be the one that can't say no because he's the one that had the demon in him because he's the one who shot her.
No, I'm
Trinity, you there?
He asked about her mental state too. There must be another video that I don't see.
You have to look on TikTok. I think somebody said it. Alex said it in the chat. Just type her name in on TikTok. It'll show you the other parts.
I'm on TikTok. I'm on a live. I can't
Or she
until I
can't
see
do
it.
both at the same time.
Yeah.
But she
The
lied.
first time he did ask her about her mental state. Interested.
He did. He sure did. He did ask her about her mental. I just thought the whole situation was interesting. Because she was sitting down on the couch and it was standing up asking her about her mental state.
I think you're right. And I think I'm gonna do a reading on this tomorrow.
I would love for you to do one because I really think it's spiritual.
I do. I really do. And I feel like she exercised him and he felt it. They get angry.
Yes,
You
right.
know, you're not supposed to sage.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If you can sage, but some spirits you're not supposed to sage because it don't do nothing but anger them. It makes them pissed off. It don't do nothing but anger them. So you have to come with something a little bit stronger. I don't know. That was something. Even if it was staged, like you said, it's a message for Black women, and it's so funny because almost the message from what I got from it was, "Who are you to rebuke me?"
That's right.
It's a spirit.
I'm gonna need me some teas. I'm gonna need me that reading, and I'm gonna need me some teas too.
Yeah, it's a spirit of rejection though. He's not used to rejection.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's been great, y'all. But that situation, I was taken aback to see that, today. And I just think it's amazing that if this was staged, the stunts that they go through to pull our attention away from whatever is deeper going on that we need to know. And getting tired of the smoke and mirrors.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna say goodnight with Miss Divine Diva here. And
After that one.
when I am going to post in the group. I have been posting in the group. So you guys go join the group. It's the Telegram group. If you don't have the link, just send me a message and I'll send you the link. Inside the link, I do give away free readings or free stories. We put sales in there, and I also let you guys know when I'm going on. So, see, she's like, when are you going live again? TikTok do not always tell you guys when I'm going live, but if you are in the Telegram group and you have your notifications on, I'll post in the group and let you guys know when I'm going to be coming on, because when I come back on, I'm going to do a reading on this energy here, because I think it's gonna be very interesting. And I'm really interested in it because she was wearing like a white robe.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anybody else saw that, but like as she's walking into the kitchen, she almost looked like she's floating. And so that was a little bit weird too. So I'm gonna ask the cards, was this staged or was this real? And we'll find out. We'll see what the cards have to say.
Yeah, that's why I said it was
Let me know the time, because your views went up when you talked about this. And I need to know the time.
Yeah, it's amazing
Yeah,
because
because-
you talk about certain things, the views go extreme.
Yes, baby. And when you said good night, it started to go down. And I need this to reach out further, because what you're talking about is actually real. Okay? So
Okay,
when you talk about that, let me know the time.
Okay, I'll send you the link to the Telegram. I usually get up like about 6 or 7 o'clock Vegas time, and then I usually go live then. I'll probably get up in the morning and just not even get dressed or anything, just get on with my hair, brush my teeth, of course, and probably jump on with just, my hair looking a mess and some pajamas so I could just get straight into that energy.
I
and
hope
do.
you put it on YouTube or something because I might miss it. So
Okay, and I definitely told my daughter to download them all, so she's downloading the videos, and then she's going to be posting them. Most of them will be posted according to the date that they were done, and then some of them she's going to just take the title and switch it over.
real good.
Melanated says she needs the link
Okay, send me a message, and then I'm just going to send you the link.
because somebody sent me a share of your live before the last one when you said you had to go for like 30 minutes. Somebody had to message me on TikTok to let me know you was live.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
y'all, and thank y'all for the gifts. I feel special. I got gifts
Oh,
on TikTok.
and look at Greg sitting with 40 coins. He got 40 of them.
I said Greg was telling the truth. He speak on the outer space. We can relate to that though. I love it though. I love that. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. I'll be up. I'm gonna charge my phone.
Okay, all right. Well, everybody, stay open to being able to receive new messages and new dialogue and new language. Be open to changing the program, to reprogram the program, and just try to enjoy life because it looked like we about to be going down, up and down, up and down, up and down. But I really do think there's a way for us to free ourselves, and I think we're gonna find that together too. As long as we can find some unity, I think that'll work. I'll see you guys later, and I will be on tomorrow morning. And like again, if you need that link to Telegram, just go ahead and message me, and I'll send you a link. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're gonna do a reading on this information here and see what energy was around it, and we'll just talk a little bit more about what we think. And then even as people are giving me opinions on what they think, we'll pull cards on it to see what it says. All right, all right. I'll talk to you guys later. Good night.